All honor, all praise, and all the glory goes to Yah Most High, the fountain of living waters, the maker, the owner, the creator, the possessor of all things and everything. Hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
It's truly an honor and a privilege to come before God's chosen people and before the sojourners of Israel to expound upon his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. We have a powerful Torah portion for you this week. This week is the week that we begin Shemot. Read that. Open it up. I'm not reading that. I'm sorry.
Oh, screen share.
Screen share. The Torah has 5 books. It's the most noted. It was written by Moshe Rabbeinu, and also Joshua, son of Nun, contributed towards it. And you have the book of Bereshit, which is Genesis, Shemot, which is Exodus, Vayikra, which is Leviticus, Bar Midbar, which is Numbers, and Deuteronomy, which is Devarim, which is Deuteronomy. So when we last picked off our Torah portion, we talked about at the end of Genesis, we talked about how Joseph had consolidated all the wealth and took all the resources from the native Egyptians, and how the native Egyptians, right, would have had a problem with Joseph's business practices. Just so we can understand, Joseph was in Egypt under the Hyksos people. The Hyksos, right? Now, we get a lot of Black Hebrew Israelite comments, right? The Black Hebrew Israelites, right? When we never said we're Black Hebrew Israelites, we're just Israelites. What does this say?
Levantine Asiatics making bricks.
Levantine Asiatics making bricks. I wonder who this looks like, right? Do they look like those crazy Black Hebrew Israelites? You guys are crazy, man. But let's get into what matters. Let's get into some Torah. I'm going to show you some more images. We have a lot in store. So as always, to understand the context and the political climate of what's happening, one must go to the events that preceded it to discover what went down. So let's read about how Joseph did the Egyptians. There's a theme in Israelite culture, and it's we create our own problems, right? Sometimes we're just being tested, but for the most part, our wounds are self-inflicted. Now, let's get into how Joseph actually handled these people. Okay, now let's read this chapter, because this chapter is important. Because see, we always look at the Hamites and say, wicked Hamites, why would they do that to us? We weren't good to them. And we got to be honest with ourselves. We were not good to these people. We exploited them. This is no different. What Joseph did is no different than what China and America do to Africa. Oh, you need seeds? Take these seeds. Oh, your crops won't grow? Give me your money. Oh, you don't have any money? Take some more seeds. Oh, your crops won't grow? You can't pay back the loan? Oh, give me your house. Oh, okay. Take some more seeds. Okay, African farmer. Oh, your crops won't grow? You can't pay back the loan? Give me your land. And that's how imperialism works. That's colonizing. We can't look at it differently because it's our ancestors. We have to look at it through the same lens. When you start saying something is okay when you do it and is not okay when someone else does it, that's called iniquity. That's called in Hebrew awon, which means what? Do you know?
Sin?
Perversion.
Version.
You're perverting, you're corrupting something. Colonialism is colonialism. Now, one would argue to the counterpoint, Joseph had no allegiance to the Hamites. And you're absolutely correct. He didn't have allegiance to the Hamites of Egypt. But since he treated them that way, do you think the Egyptians, the Hamites, when they took back over Egypt, do you think they had any allegiance they had to show us?
No.
No. What did they owe us?
Nothing.
Nothing. Because we showed them it's just business, right? Was it personal when Joseph did it?
No.
So was it personal when the Hamites did it back to us?
No.
No. Just business. Well, see, we like to play the victim because we've been around who's too long?
Dumb people.
Dumb peoples. And dumb peoples play the victim. Everyone out to get us. Everyone wants to destroy us. Everyone wants to attack us. No, you have to look at what you've done. You are your own worst enemy in this life. The book of Ecclesiastes says, when trouble happens, you have to, a wise man consider it. Let me see that. Let's see if I can get that too, man. I don't never like to just quote. I like to show you what God wrote. I think it's 7. I think it's verse 7, chapter 4. Oh, what is it? It's 7. 7, 7. No. Yeah, we're going to go to chapter 7. It's in 7 somewhere. They don't even know. I got the recipe for you, family. So let's start off with this premise here. Let's start with the de-victimizing of ourselves. I already have 7 lit up, so it got to be here. Where does it say, rebuke a fool in you, rebuke it? Surely oppression turneth from it better. Say, wisdom is an inheritance for the deference. Consider the works of God in the day of prosperity. Okay, here we go. 14. Come on. We're in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 14. Hallelujah.
In the day of prosperity.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Come on, man. Give God the glory.
In the day of prosperity, be joyful. And in the day of adversity, consider.
So in the day of adversity, you have to consider. You can't look at why the Egyptians oppressed you and say, I'm just a victim. Adversity is supposed to make you consider, right? Now, I look at our adversity in Egypt and I consider Joseph, who his whole mission was to learn mercy, seems like he just reverted. Oh, I found mercy for my brothers, but I didn't find mercy for the Goyim, who did absolutely nothing to me. So you have mercy for the people who did do something to you, but you have no mercy for people who did absolutely nothing to you. Think about that. Consider. Come on.
God hath made even the one as well as the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him.
Okay, hallelujah. So let's go into Genesis. Let's see how Joseph did business with them. Let's go.
And Joseph places, start at 11?
No, go start at 8.
And Pharaoh said,
No. And Jacob said, yeah, go to 11. Go to 11.
And Joseph placed his father and his brethren, and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, and in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded.
Show them what Ramses is.
Wikipedia.
Links don't open. Is this a clean link? I can pull that map up myself. Joseph, Egypt. Joseph and the Hyksos. So even they saying it. Joseph was working with the Hyksos. All of this, and they still don't show where Ramses is. Ramses is over here, which is Avaris, right? This is where it is, in this region here. It's actually important, so I want to get that. Let me see if I can find it. That's the only map they have up here. You got another map they have?
No.
No. You was trying me to click a different link.
No, I thought you were trying to like show a picture of the land. I didn't know you were trying to find our land, but I didn't know you were trying to find a map with the land on it.
Like we always do this. And I'm sorry for the delay, family. I truly apologize. We had to make sure we get a couple things straight before we begin. We'll get that chance to cook up. Let's see what else Joseph did. So he put his brothers in the best in the land and his father. Okay, that's obvious, right? What else?
And there was no bread in all the land.
So there was no bread in all the land. Now, through the dream that Joseph interpreted for Pharaoh, that God gave him the ability to interpret, did God say to exploit the Egyptian people?
No.
He just told them what was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
What's rule number one? Don't jump out there. What's rule number one? Don't jump out there. So let's go. Come on.
So that the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan languished by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they brought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when all the money was all spent in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For our money faileth. And Joseph said, Give your cattle, and I will give you bread for your cattle, if money fail. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph. And Joseph gave them bread in exchange for the horses, and for the flocks, and for the herds, and for the asses. And he fed them with bread in exchange for all their cattle for that year. And when that year was ended, they came unto him the second time. They came unto him the second year, and said unto him, We will not hide from my Lord. How is that our money is all spent in the herds of cattle on my Lord? There is naught left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore should we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us in our land for bread, and we in our land will be bondmen unto Pharaoh, and give us seed, that we may live and not die, and that the land be not desolate. So Joseph brought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians showed every man his field, because the famine was sore upon them, and the land became Pharaoh's.
Now, let's talk about this. The entire land of Egypt was here, right? Let's compare it over two maps. Right? Centered around this region here. Now, the Hyksos were Asiatic people, or some would say Shemites, that came into this region to rule. So they didn't have an allegiance to the people of Egypt. That's why they would want to take all their resources and all their money anyway, right? The indigenous people of Africa. I'll show you this. Hold on. Show you indigenous Hamites. The indigenous Hamites of Africa, of Egypt, look similar to these people here, right? From the Sudan. And this is what we're going to get into. We got a lot in store with this. So Hablo Group B, right, is most notably what it would be. Joseph takes all of the resources from all of this region and gives it to Pharaoh. Now, logically, a king extracting all the resources from his people when the people had to be fed anyway, or you wouldn't have a kingdom, it doesn't make sense. It's kind of counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
You would feed your people because if they all die, then you don't even have a kingdom anyway. If the soldiers are gone, then the fortress is defenseless regardless. So, as far as balance and as far as looking at this from I'm a leader and I'm going to take care of the people, Joseph actually didn't serve the people. He exploited them because you had enough food to survive. You didn't need them to sell their house, their land, or anything because you ensured that they had these things. So it was just a mess. But that's what he decided to do. And eventually, when the Hyksos were expelled from Egypt by who? A guy named, you're going to recognize his game.
You get some others?
No,
Okay.
not yet. What does this say? Don't say his name. His name is a deity. A Moses, right? They say A Moses.
A Moses was king of ancient Egypt and founder of the 18th dynasty, who completed the expulsion of the Hyksos,
What?
Asiatic rulers of Egypt.
So he completed this guy right here. I don't know if you remember, we seen him when we went to the Met Metropolitan Museum. This Hamite, right? This Hamite, right? Yeah, they tore his nose off too, so you couldn't tell who he was. But you can see by the fact that they tore his lips and his nose off, he looked like Babalu over here, right? On one of these Hamites. So this Sudanese Hamite, because our Moses came from Sudan, which means he was a black African. He came from this region up into the north and kicked the Hyksos out of Egypt. Now, remember what was done to his people, right? His people, what happened to his people, family? Joseph made his people do what?
Sell all
their cattle
and
or their land, and then sell themselves to the Hyksos, who were not even Egyptian. They were Shemites that came down into Egypt, right?
Yeah.
So now, let's take the victim card off the table. When we read Exodus, let's see what is going on, right? We're going to go to Exodus chapter 1. Hold on. How far is this? I don't got to go far. All right? I'll give you the Hebrew. Wa Shemot bane Yisrael havaim. Misrayim mar et Yaakov ish uf bar toba'ot. Re'ud ben Shimeon led we Yehuda. Yissaskar, Zebulon, Ud ben Yamin. Dan Naphtali gad Arsher. Wahayod ko nerfesh yitzar. Yerech Yaakov shif'aim nifesh. Wa Yosef haye ba Mitzrayim. Wa yemat Yosef warechod ehad warechod hador hahod. Uvne Yisrael faro wayatzo. Wa yirbo wayatzo mud bam od ma'od. Wa the timaled haaretz otam. All right, we're going to stop there because I really want to get into this lesson. Y'all know I can read Hebrew. It says what?
Now these are the names of the sons of Israel who came into Egypt with Jacob. Every man came with his household. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulon, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, and Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mightily. And the land was filled with them.
Now, here's the key part, right? Vayikam melech haradash al Mitzrayim arshir lo yardor et Yosef. What does it say? We're going to go bar for bar like we used to do in the house.
Now there arose a new king over Egypt, who
knew not Joseph. Now let's see what word. The word I believe they use is yada. Yada is like a personal understanding of, right? Yada. Let's see what this is. Hopefully I can get a good definition. It means to know, or it means like a personal knowledge of.
I don't even think he knows Hebrew.
This computer is this old. There we go. That was the problem. What does it say?
Yada is a rich Hebrew word meaning to give thanks. No, that's why it's not right. Yes, it's supposed to be Yod Dalet Ayin. It's Yod Dalet Hey.
Oh, okay. Good fun, young man. I'm gonna put it here. What the freak?
What is this?
Yeah, I don't know what
Let me try to go to cute Bible.
No, I don't. They're coordinates. I really don't like their definitions because they don't. They don't give the greatest. I wanted them to know it in Hebrew. I would have told them what it means in Hebrew. Okay, let's go.
But when I dig deeper, I found that the word for new here is yada, a word that carries a weight of meaning far beyond intellectual understanding.
Let's just go to the Strongs. I hate going to the Strongs, but what does it say? The term yada translates what?
To know.
But it's not giving you to what?
To know, learn to know, to perceive and see, to find out and discern, to discriminate, distinguish, to know by experience, to recognize.
So he doesn't care. Let's just put it in the context that it is. It's not that he didn't know. The guy saved Egypt. He just doesn't care. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And why would he not care?
Because of how he got treated.
Because how his people got treated. Clap it up for the Lord, man. Clap it up for the Lord for some understanding, man. Clap it up for the Lord for some understanding. Right? It says, Wayacham Melech Hadash out of Mitzrayim Arshir Lo Yadar et Yosef. There's no way you don't know. It's like not knowing who David is and you live in Israel. You don't care about who David is. Right? Wayomer El Imo Hine Am Bani Yisrael Rav Wa Akzom Mimenu. What does this say?
And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are too many and too mighty for us.
Now, what does this guy? This is the guy. I need you to understand the new Pharaoh that arose is this guy. We're going to prove this to you. That is this guy. Oh, we already did. We're going to go through that again. Wait. He's a Hamite, right? From the Sudan. He takes over, kicks the Shemites out, right? And he says, what? What does he say to his people? Hold on. This is what we were looking for. Okay. So he kicked the Hyksos out, right? So this, and where did he come from? I'm supposed to look at where he came from. Let's see where Thebes is. Okay. So he comes from here. I thought it was the Sudan. But he comes from here, right? Northern Egypt, what they call it in Egypt, but it's really southern Egypt. That's how it works. Right? So they say that he is from Thebes. Let's see if I can find another source on that. Read this right here. Don't say his name. None of these names you can say. A Moses, right?
Yeah. A Moses was ready to take on the Hyksos and avenge the death of his father and brother. He marched on Avaris, defeated the Hyksos, and liberated Egypt from foreign occupation.
Okay. So that's how the Egyptians tell a story. Now, you have to remember, if the Hyksos were foreign occupiers, who was Joseph and his people? They were agents to them. They were working with the foreign occupiers. So when you have this here, now let's go a little bit deeper into this because we want to figure out when this whole Exodus even happened in the first place. Let's go. Keep going.
And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are too many and too mighty for us.
Now, this line is a line that's often overlooked. Let's see why this is deep. Come on.
Come, let us deal wisely with
Let
them.
us deal wisely with them, right? Hold on. Harkar nif hachmar lord pet yakbar wahayer ki sifra ainid maharmar wa nofsaf. Excuse me. Gamhu arish onu. Warinarhim banu wa eler min haaretz. So he said in his own words, come, let us deal wisely with them. What?
Lest they multiply.
And what?
And it come to pass
that
when there befalleth us any war, they also join themselves unto our enemies and fight against us and get them up out of the land.
Now, here's the beauty of this. He's telling you what's happening historically. What's happening is there's fear there. He just defeated the Hyksos. He's looking at the Hyksos and he says, well, wait, you guys were never subjected to selling. This is why I'm telling you it's Joseph's fault. He looks at the Hyksos and says, okay, I got rid of those Shemites. Now, Israel in Egypt, when Israel left Egypt, do you know who they left with? It's a term that's used, Erev Rav.
Yeah.
What do you know what that means? A mixed multitude. Erev, mixed. Like I keep telling you, Rav is abundant, a greatness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there weren't only Egyptians that lived in that land. It was a mixed multitude of people who lived in that land. But one thing that Moses could understand was, he said, wait, everyone sold their stuff. Everyone sold their cattle. Nobody has money but these people. How do you still have money if everyone else sold their money? if everyone else is broke? How do you still have land? Oh, because you was working with the powers that be. And since you were working with the powers that be, you're an op. We can't trust you. It's a lot of you. And if you guys have more and more children, when the Hyksos come back and try to re-invade the land, guess what's going to happen? You're going to join with them because you never had an allegiance to us. You guys are Shemites, we're Hamites, right? Let's deal with them wisely. Let's keep their numbers down. Come on, let's go.
Come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there befalleth us any war, they also join themselves unto our enemies and fight against us and get them up out of the land.
Now, some are going to say, well, Rabbi, how do you even know that's our Moses? Okay. A Moses, right? Because his name comes from a deity. Let's see how we figured that out, right? What does this say?
Torah portion Shemot, the exact date of the Exodus explained.
Okay. Now, in the book of Kings, we're giving a date. This date is often overlooked and never really examined. And it has a lot to do with your history. The book of Kings explains the date when the temple was born. Now, normally, when we see a date, no one really pays attention to it, right? I'll give you a case in point. We're only in chapter 1. I know we got to get up to chapter 6. We got a lot of work to do. But I want to show you something. What does this say?
And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after the departing out of the land of Egypt.
Why would God leave this on record? Do you know what color their shoes were?
No.
Do you know how they did their hair?
No.
So he told you this, so this means something. It's up to you to figure out what it means. If the new moons are correct, we should be able to go back to the year, because this year is 1446 BCE. We should be able to go back to this year, and we should be able to track that the 15th day, whatever it was, and then 7 days later, it should be what?
A new moon.
Not a new moon. What happened 7 days later after this? Remember, they get the commandment for the manna in this chapter. What should be 7 days later?
Oh, the command for the Shabbat.
That should be the Sabbath, right?
Yes.
If the dates are correct, when we go back and we calculate what this new moon was, and then we count the 15th and we count 7 more days, that day should be, no, it should be a Yom Rishon. Why should it be a Yom Rishon? Do you know why it should be a Yom Rishon and not a Sabbath? There was an event that happened that would have threw off time.
The sun getting
stopped by Joshua. So if Joshua stopped the sun basically for a day, then every calendar is 1 day off.
Yeah.
And we go track it back in time. And luckily it's been checked and it is 1 day off. It's like a Yom Rishon and not a Sabbath. But we'll get to that when it's time. No reason to jump the gun. We're going to come to chapter 1. We're going to go back here. Let's read this right here. Come on. We're in 1 Kings. Oh, that's Ecclesiastes. We're in 1 Kings. We're going to go to the 6th chapter, and we're going to use our history to decipher what happened. Come on, let's go.
And it came to pass in the 480th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel, in the month Ziv, which is in the 2nd month, that he began to build the house of the Lord.
Okay. Why would God give you this date for? Is this date even relevant? If you're not going to use it, it's not relevant. If you use it, it is. So what does this say exactly? Let's unpack this. Read it slowly.
And it came to pass
In the 400 and what
80th,
year after what?
the children of Israel will come out of the land of Egypt.
So now we have a time frame. We have in the 480th years backwards after we left Egypt. So we have Exodus. When we get to the 12th chapter, that's when we leave Egypt. So from Exodus 12 to Solomon building the temple, 480 years have passed. So that means in that little block of time, you have all the judges. You have Joshua. You have all the judges. You have King Saul ruling, King David ruling, and then you have King Solomon ruling. Right? So from this event up until the building of the temple, it's 480 years. Now, how do we make sure that this is true? We have to find a way to fact check it, right? So let's go and fact check this now. What does it say? In the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel. Now, we would have to figure out, in order to count 480 years backwards, we would have to figure out when King Solomon took the throne, right?
Yes.
Luckily, we have the Book of Kings. So let's count some time frame, right? This is Solomon's son. How long did he rule?
17.
How long did he rule?
3 years.
These are all David's children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. What else?
41 years. 25 years. 8 years. 1 year. 6 years. 40 years. 29 years. 52 years. 16 years. 16 years. 29 years. 55 years. 2 years. 31 years. 3 months. 11 years.
11 years. And then we have who else?
11 years, 3 months and 10 days, 11 years.
These overlap. Okay. So what year did this end?
This ended at 586.
586 BCE. Now, we know we have to get from 586 BCE back to Solomon's reign. So now let's add these up this way now on a different chart. So if this is 586 BCE, we got to work our way backwards, right?
Yep.
11 years puts you at what?
598, 597.
3 months puts you at what?
598.
11 more years from 598 puts you at what?
609.
3 more months puts you at what?
609.
31 years from 609 to 640 puts you at what?
640.
2 years from 640 to 642 puts you where?
642.
55 years from 642 puts you where?
697.
29 years added to that puts you where?
715.
16 years added puts you where?
735.
16 years puts you where?
750.
52 years puts you where?
792.
29 years puts you where?
796.
40 years puts you where?
835.
7 years puts you where?
841.
This 1 year puts you where?
841.
7 more years puts you where?
848.
Jehoshaphat, his 25 years puts you where?
872.
Asa, his 41 years puts you where?
910.
So this means they overlap each other. His 3 years from Abijah puts you where?
913.
His 17 years puts you where?
930.
He can only take over king when who dies?
Solomon died.
So that means Solomon's reign ended when?
930.
930 BC. Clap it up for the Lord, man. That's understanding right there, man. That's powerful. That's how you track information. Clap it up for the Lord for some understanding. So we know King Solomon died in the year 930. He ruled for 40 years. So what is the beginning of his rule?
970.
And 4 years into his rule, it says what?
He begun building the temple.
In 4 years. Well, so what year did the temple begin to be built?
966.
966, right? So in the year 966, the temple was built. Now let's see if this is correct. Let's go over to Solomon. Solomon began his reign when? 40 years?
Yes.
What year did he build the temple? Start building the temple?
966.
966. So that means David, he took over when David died, right?
Yes.
So that means David ruled from what?
1010 to 970.
And since David took over at 30, when King Saul died, right? That means King Saul was king for 10 years before David was even born, right?
Yeah.
Because he ruled for 40 years and David took over as king at 30. So that means King Saul had 10 years to do his thing before God even created David. So whatever Saul didn't accomplish is because he's a failure and he turned away from God, right?
Yeah.
Because Saul was king for how many years before David was born?
10 years.
10 years. So when God even made David, it's because he saw Saul wasn't going to do the right thing. We're our own worst enemy. But getting back to it, 40 years put you at what?
1050.
So 1050 with me, what happened at 1050? What was 1051? Who was running the show then?
The judges.
The judges. Clap it up for the Lord for more understanding. Clap it up for the Lord for more understanding. So 1051 is the time of the judges. Okay? So now we have 966, right? Because it said, let's get some more understanding now. It says in the what?
4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel.
In the 4th year. The 4th year is what?
966.
966. Now we got a math formula to do. In history, do we count, if we're trying to get a date, do we count times backwards or forward if we're looking for going in BCE? If we're looking going up, do we count time going backwards or forward?
Forwards.
Forward in what direction? You got to make it clear. Make it plain to them.
You're going up.
You're going up, right? So what you would have to do, you would have to take 966, right?
Yeah.
And add how much to it?
480 years.
480 years. Now, in 480 years, it will put you at what? What time is the Exodus?
1446 BCE.
1446 BCE. Now, we got to fact check this. We have a new king that arises over Egypt that knew not Joseph, right? Let's go to Aunt Moses. God's not saying anything. A Moses, right? Now you're gonna find something funny. This guy, he kicks the Hyksos out, right? But we got to figure out, when did he reign? Right? We got to figure out, when did he reign? When did he reign?
1539.
Oh man, Rabbi, you off, man. You off. 1539. How do we explain this, son? We have 1496, right?
1446.
We have 1446. How do we wait? So how do we get from 1446 to 1500? Who took us out of Egypt?
Moses.
Okay. Moses took us out of Egypt, right?
Yes.
Now, how old was Moses when he took us out of Egypt?
4 school years, 80 years old.
He was 80 years old when he took us out of Egypt, right? So that means, what will we have to add to this right here?
80.
We would have to add 80 years to this, right? So 80 will put us at what year? Is it in here?
No.
Okay, get the calculator out.
Okay, I get what you're doing now. That's when we got out.
That's when we left. That's not when the affliction started. 446. Remember, let's explain this, what we're doing right now, family. We left Egypt in the year 446. Right? Moses took us out of Egypt in the year 446. but Moses was 80 years old when he took us out of Egypt. So what do we have to do to figure out when Moses took over? We have to add what?
80 years.
We have to add 80 years. So we're going to add 80 years to that, and that's going to put us what?
1526.
Okay, so now we're going to come back to his run. We're going to come back to his run now, right? When did he become king?
1539.
Oh, so now we close now, right?
Yeah.
Now, does this say when he did this? Let's read. Now we know. I'm getting excited, family. I'm getting excited because the word, let's give a clap for the Lord. Clap for the Lord right now, man, because I'm getting so amped. I'm getting so excited, man, because this word is so powerful, man. This history is so real. Now we know Joseph worked for the Hyksos. He didn't work for the Hamites, right? How do we know Joseph didn't work for the Hamites? What does it open up saying? Now what? Hold up. How do we know Joseph didn't work for the Hamites and Joseph worked for the Hyksos? What does it say?
Now there arose a new king over Egypt, who knew not Joseph.
Now, okay, and he started in what year?
1539.
1539. And he got who out of the land?
The Hyksos.
And what were they?
Asiatic rulers.
Asiatic is another way to say a Shemite set of people. So he kicked the Hyksos out in 1539. But then he looks around and he says, what do I do with these pesky Israelites? Now, here's the beauty of it. We could get it down to the button when this actually happened. How could we get it down to the button? I'm going to show you right here. Hold your thoughts. Get your notepads and your pens out. Read this right here. What does it say?
Come, let us deal wisely with them.
Okay, we already know that. Verse 11.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh store cities, Pittom and Ramses.
Now let's see these Israelites that were building. Oh, wow. Wow, they're black.
Yeah.
Wow, what the black Hebrew Israelites were building it, right? Oh my God. What do we do? Because they're not going to tell you these are Jews, right? Because that wouldn't be any fun. They says Asiatic making bricks. If the Hyksos were the Asiatics and they got kicked out, who were the other set of Asiatics that's left in the land?
Us.
The Israelites. Clap it up for the Lord again, man. Come on, man. It's so much coming out. Man. It's the Israelites. These were Israelites. They did it. I hate when the pesky facts get in the way, man. I really hate when pesky facts and artifacts get in the way of a good lie. You get what I'm saying? Because we're BHIs, Black Hebrew Israelites, right? You guys are faking identity. You're a culture thieves. Bro, the history is here, man. But when you practice I'm white and I say so, you don't have to really go through any facts. You can just say I'm white and I say so. So you were never there, and we can show you 50 artifacts. You say, I'm white and I say so, so I'm right. So, okay. So they're starting a building project, right? Now, could it be what this guy said he wants them to do? Remember, he ruled in 1539. He didn't start off with killing the babies. That wasn't the beginning. That wasn't his first plan. What was Moses' first plan? He told them to do what?
They did set over some taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Okay, so that's 1539. When he takes over, he looks at the Israelites. He says, put taskmasters over them. Let's afflict them. But what happened?
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and more they spread abroad. And they were a dread because of the children of Israel.
Now, it's past 1539, right?
Yeah.
The time is counting down. Give me the calculator. Where's the calculator at? Pull it up. Pull it up with this. Now remember, we got to get to 1526, right? Let's go here. What does it say?
And they made their lives bitter with hard service, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field, and in all their service wherein they made them serve with rigor.
Come on, let's go.
And the king of Egypt spoke to the Hebrew midwives, of whom the name of one was Shipra.
Shipra, blessed be this sister's memory, man. Torah y'all for the memory and the efforts of this beautiful sister. taking a stand for what's right. Wait, we don't rush over it. This is a sisters that put their life on the line to go against the grain. So when I see men today in the Israelite community making excuses, when they say you can't come out for COVID or you can't come to gather. So when it was COVID, we couldn't come out to gather. But now when God tells you don't come out to gather and stay in your location, we got to defy God, but we couldn't go against the white man, right? And then you see these sisters putting their life on the line against the imperial power of the world. And I have men telling me today that God just got to understand. Come on, man. To God be the glory.
In the name of the other, Hua, he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew woman, ye shall look upon a birth stool. If it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. So
even Egyptian Hamites knew the importance of men in a culture. Men are the pillars of a society. They set the culture, they set the rules. And he understood the woman would be more inclined to corruption and assimilation, whereas men are going to rebel. Outside of these two exceptional women, I want to tell you something. There's a difference between a woman and then there is an exceptional woman, right? These are exceptional women. I don't use Proverbs 31 in my house. I say a woman is exceptional. And these are exceptional sisters right here. Glory be to Yah. Come on.
He said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew woman, oh, I read that already. But the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the man child alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing? And I saved the men chosen alive.
So let me say this too. To you sisters that work in these hospitals, right? That pump that poison to our people. Because let me tell you, I'm going to tell you something that's real. I have 9 children. When you sisters are in these hospitals and our people are refusing these vaccines, right? And our people don't want to get that epidural and don't want to be drugged up. Take a stand, sister. You the midwife in Egypt for a reason. Take a stand. Go against your colleagues. Stand up for the Lord. Stand up for God's people. Don't let them pump vaccines on our people that you know going to lead our children to have autism. Don't let them pump drugs on our people that you know is going to give our kids all these diseases and all these issues. Because our sisters have a problem with, I got a degree. I went to school for this. And you're not going to tell me I'm a medical professional, even though there's a clear link between autism and vaccines. How about you look out for your people like our ancestors did and stop being part of the beast? Because the sisters today, they would have killed them kids. I'm telling you. Well, I got a degree and I'm a midwife and Pharaoh told me and I'm going to do what Pharaoh said to do and you ain't paying my bills and this and that. I'm a boss chick. No, we can't deal with that spirit. Take a stand for your people. If you in any position, take a stand for your people. You're there for a reason. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Come on. What happened?
And God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed mightily. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses.
Because they weren't?
Because the midwives feared God.
No, they talked about their education.
The midwives feared God.
No, they talked about how many degrees they had and why they don't got to listen.
Because the midwives feared God.
No, they feared for their job and they didn't want to lose their cushy, high-paid nursing job.
Because the midwives feared God.
Because they feared God, that God did what?
That he made them houses.
Hallelujah.
And Pharaoh charged all his people.
And I say that to say this because these people were we refuse vaccines. My kids don't take that poison. And they was trying to push it on us. And shout out to this elder sister who was a doctor. She came in there, she said, listen, they trying to take your baby. They trying to do this. And I'm not going to let them. But listen, we got to move this thing along. You can't be moving on scared. You cannot me to my wife. calm down, relax, get this baby up out of you. Because they documenting everything and they trying to take your kid from you. Even that's a helping hand right there. Let us know the play that's happening. Maybe you knew you ain't in a position to stop them. Let us know what's going on, though. Pull your people aside and give them the black nod. You could be anywhere on earth, man. You see a brother, that's how I know an Israelite from a Hamite. Because when I see an Israelite, he always going to do this to me, man. Hamite, forget you. Akata. Let me stop before I turn off the Hamite viewers. But anyway, man. Anyway, let's go. Come on.
And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born he shall cast into the river, and every daughter he shall save alive.
Now stop. Now we know that this decree, okay, hold on. Give me the calculator. We know that this decree has to be before what time?
526.
Why is that?
Because this would be around the time, because this decree came around the time Moses was born.
No, it came around the time Moses was born. But remember, who's older than Moses?
Aaron.
Aaron. Aaron is how many years older than Moses?
3.
So by 1529, Aaron was born. It was no decree to throw the babies into the river. Aaron was born during the time of the midwives protecting everyone, right? When Moses is born, right? In what year?
526.
In 1526.
1526.
BCE. Now the decree has changed to throw the kids into the river, right? So now we proved that this guy was the king of Egypt at the time, right? Now, here's the interesting fun fact about it. I think this is something that gets overlooked a lot. And we can even give you the Pharaoh of the Exodus. But he started our problem in Egypt, if you want to call it that, right? Moses, right? Now, what did he do?
Reunified Egypt, ending Hyksos' rule, and began the new kingdom.
Okay, he was the son of Moses, Moses, right?
Expanded Egypt's borders significantly.
Okay. Moses the second.
Reigned briefly.
Hishba, whatever this is.
Powerful female pharaoh, initially wretched for her stepson.
And who was the final king? The final boss demon? Who was he? That was part of the Exodus. Who should he have been?
Moses the third.
Okay, right? Unless it's somebody in between, because they do oregano stack dating. Because they got this ending at 15, 20, 14, 25. He should have been going in that river by then. But with that being said and all things being considered, you know, we trust what we believe over what the Goyim say. Let's go to something a little bit more in depth. Hold on. I want to show you though something. How do you know it was during this time? You missed the slide. There's definitely something missing. Okay, this is it. Here we go. Here we go. Now, what word is this?
Moshe.
Moshe, right? We're going to go to chapter 2, and you're going to find something very interesting. This is how we know this was the Pharaoh, and this is how we know it was that time. Let's go here. Now, let's read this right here.
And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took a wife, a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bore a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch. And she put the child therein, and laid it in the flags by the river's brink.
Okay.
And his sister stood afar off to know what will be done to him. And the daughters of Pharaoh came down to bathe in the river, and her maidens walked along by the riverside. And she saw the ark among the flags, and sent her handmaid to fetch it. And she opened it and saw it, even a child, and behold, a boy that wept. And she had compassion on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrew children."
So she knew that this is one of the Hebrews' children because they didn't want their children thrown in the river. So she put them there hoping somebody else would find them, right? Because you couldn't have a Hebrew boy living in Egypt on that time under a Moses, right? And then what?
Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call thee a nurse of the Hebrew woman, that she may nurse the child for thee? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. And the maiden went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son.
Wait. She brought him unto, this is the most important line in this chapter. She brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, one of them, and he became her son. And she said, what? And she called his name what?
Moses.
She called his name what?
Moses.
She called his name what?
Moses.
Is that a Hebrew name?
No.
That's a what name?
Egyptian name.
Now, who was the dynasty ruling there in that time? What does it say? In Egypt, what?
The element Mose, as in Mose,
yeah.
Mose, comes from the verb misi, meaning bore of or child of, with the first part naming the deity. Yeah.
TH is
born. Moon god is.
Okay.
Born. The name Moses likely comes from the same root misi, meaning child or born, but without a god's name attached, leading to the Hebrew interpretation of drawn out of water.
So now let's look at the people from that time. Who was the king at the time? Moses.
Yeah, Moses.
Moses, right? And he says the moon god is born, right? And then you have Mose, right? And his name is T is born. So when we come here to who named this child?
Pharaoh's daughter.
So why would she name this child this name? Because that was the name of the contemporary people that was leading the kingdom of that time. This is the same name as her father and her brothers and her uncles. This is what they named their people. This is how we know Moses was born in the time of Moses, because he's named by Pharaoh's daughter, and they have the same etymology of the name. Clap it up for the Lord for more understanding. We just cracked the code on when the Exodus was. We just cracked it, man. It's all glory be to Yah, because we used his word. We used his word with a little bit of history, and that's how we solve the mystery. So now that we have that established now, because all the facts line up, you have a guy who comes in, he kicks out the foreign power. That means Joseph was ruling in Egypt under who?
Under Hyksos rule.
Under the Hyksos rule. He wasn't ruling with the regular Egyptians. And that's why this guy could not know Joseph, because he doesn't really care. And that's why Moses' name, which isn't even Hebrew, it's Egyptian, is named what it's named. And when you look at the chronology of the events, first he says, just make them work hard. Then he says, throw them in a river. Then he says, destroy them. Then he says, throw them in a river. Aaron was born during the time of the midwives protecting them. Moses was born during the time of the river. So we could get this to around this time here. To what time would this year be? What year would this chapter be set at?
1526.
Hallelujah. This is 1526 BCE. Come on.
And then,
so this is what? 500. This is 2,500 years ago to the date. This is literally 2,500 years ago, because 500 puts you at, I'm sorry, it's more than 2,500. I'm going up. 1,500 puts you at 0, and then you have 2,000. So it's 3,500 years ago to the day. Not to the exact date, because we know the date he was born. But this is 3,500 years ago. It's now 2026. This happened in 1526. So 3,500 years ago, Moses was born. Come on.
And he looked this way. But we got to up. And it came to pass in those days that
phone. I'll read for you. Wahi bayarmim hahu wayagdal. Moshe wayazer ahad wayarad. Barsef lochtam wayarad ish mamri mizri. Mechar ish avri me ahay. Come on.
And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown up that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens. And he saw an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way. And when he saw that there was no man, he smote the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. And he went out the second day, and behold, 2 men of the Hebrews were striving together. And he said to him that did the wrong, why smitest thou thy fellow? And he said,
so Moses had a nationalistic pride, right? In Hebrew, we name him Moshe, but his name is Moses in the language it was created in, right? He saw Egyptians smiting a Hebrew. Now, this is funny because we look at the terminology here that's used, right? Let's look at the terminology that's used here. Waye bayarmim hahu wayegdel. Moshe wayizi echad wayera. Barisiv lord tam wayera ish masri. So a man of Egypt, right? Mecha, striking or giving a blow. Macha, from that word, like to hit a blow or whip. Ish of ivory, right? This is Eve. They say Eve, but you know, with the iron. Ivory, right? So look at the word that's used by Moses here, because he wrote this. He doesn't call him an Israelite. This shows you how we weren't actually connected as a people. It's just a Hebrew. You get what I'm saying? He didn't say an Israelite. Now you can say the nation of Israel wasn't formed yet. That's another good breakdown that I wouldn't deny. But this shows you how disconnected we were as a people. I need you to understand something. I need you to get this clear. When you read the book of Shemot or Exodus, don't look at the Israelites as a homogenous people. They are families that live together, that know they're related, know they serve the same God, but for all intents and purposes, they were not this group of people that just had this undying, unwavering love for each other. Come on.
and it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown up. Wait, I read this already. 13. And he went out the second day, and behold, 2 men of the Hebrews were striving together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, who made thee a ruler and judge over us?
Misread. No, what word was that? Oh, no, that was a different verse. That's why. Okay.
And he said, who made thee a ruler and a judge over us?
Now look at this. Just to prove my point. Negroes. These were Negroes, man. So who were the people that were building during that time?
Our people, us.
Just look at them.
Yeah.
So Moses comes out, according to the Egyptian record, and sees these people fighting with each other, right? How could you be fighting and hating each other in captivity? It's utter mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling to me, right? Talk about can't see the forest through the trees, but this is why I say what I say, right? I say what I said. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou fellow? Right? And he said, what?
Who made thee a ruler and a judge over us? Thinkest thou to kill me as thou didst kill the Egyptian?
So Moses saves an Israelite from being whipped by an Egyptian. And he murdered. And I want to let you know, Moses murdered and then he ministered, right? You get me? I'm joking. Moses took out somebody and defended his brother. So don't think Moses was some punk. When it says Moses was the meekest man, He still had that quote unquote dog in him, as they say. But Moses Rabbeinu of blessed memory, right? He was a nationalist. You have to think about what he put up. He's rich. He lives in Pharaoh's house. He don't have to work. And instead of him kicking his feet up and getting comfortable, he went out and saw what was happening and helped his people from the position he was in and risked all of the fruits that come with being in a position of privilege. So he unallows the Egyptian, and then it says, who made thee ruler over us and judge over us? So they hated this guy because they knew, probably got whispers that he was really a Israelite and wasn't a Egyptian. And it says, so y'all gonna kill me as y'all did kill this Egyptian? Now this is the guy who helped y'all. But this is how they talk to him. And Moses what?
And Moses feared and said, surely the thing is known.
Okay, verse 15.
Now the Pharaoh heard this thing. He sought the same slay Moses. When Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh, he dwelt in the land of Midian. He sat down by a well.
I'm gonna get y'all some more. Where's the years that these gods were born at? Okay. So he died in 1525, right? What year was Moses born?
We have a number right here. 1526.
So now we got to take 40 years off because that's when he fled. 1486. Who would have been ruling at this time? This guy, right?
Yeah.
This guy would have been ruling at the time. What does it say? So he went to Midian. Let's show them where Midian is. Midian is not here, okay? You know how Midian is not here? Because this is called the Brook of Egypt. So this is actually still Egypt, right? This is the brook, hold on. This is the brook of Egypt. So if this is the brook of Egypt, Moses could not be in these mountains calling this Midian. Sinai is not here. Sinai is over here in Arabia. In Midian is over here in Arabia. The Israelites dwelt in Arabia. They did not dwell in this false Sinai Peninsula. Prove it to you. This is a wiki link. Oh, this is a bad picture. So the most border of the land of Israel. See if I can find it on a map. Maybe this map will give it to me. Where is it at? What does it say?
Israel.
The brook of Egypt is where? Here, right?
It says river of Egypt.
River of Egypt. What does it say here, though?
Brook of Egypt.
What is it?
Wadi el Arish.
This is all the verses that speaks about this being the brook of Egypt. If this is the brook of Egypt, right, and all of this is considered Egypt, how could this be Mount Sinai if they left Egypt?
Can't be.
It can't be. If this is the brook of Egypt, how could Mount Sinai be in Egypt? If you left Egypt, it can't be. But see, our people, you know why they believe that? Hold on. You know why people believe Mount Sinai is here? Because who told them that? Dumb people. It's always dumb people, man. How could Mount Sinai be in Egypt if the Exodus is about you leaving Egypt? Oh my God, man. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Like, the real Mount Sinai is in Saudi Arabia. The top of the mountains are still burnt, man. The Midianites are from here. They're not from here. This is still Egypt, man. Come on, clap it up for the Lord again for some more understanding. Clap it up for the Lord. Only he could bring this information out, man. Only he could bring it out. So the real Sinai is over here. See if we can get something on that too. What does it say? What does it say?
The real Mount Sinai location is debated, with tradition pointing to Jabal Musa in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, but increasing evidence suggests it might be Jabal Makla in northwestern Saudi Arabia. Aligning with, in the Exod, because it put it twice, but increasing evidence suggests it might be Jabal Makwa in northwestern Saudi Arabia in the ancient land of Midian. Aligning with biblical descriptions and archaeological finds like the split rock in Black Chalk Summit.
Now, the split rock is what? The rock that Moses struck and water rushed out, right?
Yes.
And what else? In a Black Shar Summit. Why would it have a Black Shar Summit? Because when the Most High came down in Exodus chapter 20, he said, fire descended from heaven and burnt the top of the mountains. Why wouldn't you have burnt mountains in the Sinai Peninsula, but you have burnt mountains in the Arabian Peninsula if the Sinai is in the if Mount Sinai is in the Sinai air quote peninsula? It doesn't make sense. Let's see if we can get you some images of this. This is the top of the mountains in Saudi Arabia. They're burnt. The summit of the mountain is burnt in Saudi Arabia. That's the real Mount Sinai. This is the split rock that Moses got water out of. And you can see the water erosion down there. That's the real Saudi Arabia. The real Sinai. The real Sinai is in Saudi Arabia. This is the real migration path that they took. They left Egypt, came through Egypt, and crossed the Sinai here, crossed the Red Sea here, and came to Sinai in Arabia. This is the rock that they found. And they even found bulls. Hold on. Drawings of bulls in Arabia connected to the Exodus. No. Here we go. Where's this found at?
In Saudi Arabia.
Hold on. Oh, it's a Facebook post, bro. Let's see if it'll load up. This is found where?
It's in Saudi Arabia.
Now, why would you have to have the bull section off on how to cut it up? What would Moses be? Who would Moses be explaining this to?
The Levites.
The Levite priests, right?
Yeah.
Because the Levites would have to know what part of the bull you were able to eat and what part was given to the Lord. So what did Moses do for them back then?
He gave them like a little diagram.
Gave them a diagram. Clap it up for the Lord again. And where is this found at? Is this found in the Sinai Peninsula or is this found in Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia.
This is found in Saudi Arabia, man. Come on. Make the word plain, man. This is from Saudi Arabia. He's showing you what cuts to cut up. You can read Leviticus and you'll see all of this right here. This is only found in Arabia. Why do they have this section off there? You think these Muslims are crazy? This is the brisket. This is the part that the priest would have. It's all there, man. All the evidence is there, family. So let's come back here. Okay, hold on. Now, if a lot of Israelites died in the wilderness, right? I ain't gonna say it. Wait, what does this say? What does this say?
North Africa, the Horn of Africa, West Asia, and Europe.
Let's EM 35. What does this say? What does it say? E1B1A is primary distributed what?
Within Africa, followed by West Asia.
I had someone say, they're not going to tell you you're an Israelite. Yeah, they're not. But if you're intelligent, you'll know how to read between the lines. What's West Asia, son? Where's West Asia? Tell them what country is West Asia. What country is West Asia, son?
Egypt, Israel.
No, this is Egypt. This is Northeast Africa. What's West Asia, son?
Israel.
Israel.
Like
Israel. That. Israel is West Asia. What does it say E1B1A comes from?
It's primarily distributed within Africa, followed by West Asia.
Now, Africa is how we got there through what?
Slavery.
Through slavery. So where are we actually from?
Israel.
Israel. Come on, man. Clap it up for the Lord again. It's just so clear. If you don't understand, say you don't understand. God is making it clear. He's telling you your DNA is from where? West Asia. We're all from Africa. No, we're not all from Africa. What is West Asia? For somebody who doesn't know. See what West Asia is.
West Asia, also known as Western Asia or the Middle East, is the westernmost part of Asia, encompassing the Arabian Peninsula, Iran, Turkey, the Levant, like Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Israel, Palestine, Mesopotamia, Iraq, the Caucasus, Armenia.
Is this not everywhere that the Bible say the Israelites are from?
Yeah.
This is a quick Google search. EM2 is E1B1A. It's primarily distributed in Africa. That's because we were scattered to Africa. Followed by what? West Asia. It also occurs in moderate frequencies in what?
Africa and the Middle East.
Come on, man. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. We're bringing it all out for you today. E1B1A is the Israelite Hablo group. If you're an Israelite, E1B1A has to be on your YDNA. If your teacher is not E1B1A, it's not an Israelite. It's plain as day. And my brothers pointed out something interesting to me about genetics. I'm gonna bring that up a little bit later about the Kohen. Do you know our U175 marker? They check them people for that marker to figure out if they're a Kohen or not. Think about that. Why are you checking them for U175 if that's found in black people? Why are you checking them for that to figure out that a Kohen? Now, we told you we were Kohens, but on their Kohen test, you check for EU175. And if you don't have EU175, you're not a Kohen according to. Oh, man, God is so good, man. Come on, read this here.
And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock.
So where is this taking place?
In Midian.
Where's Midian?
In Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Come on.
And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, how is it that ye are come so soon today? And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherd.
No, a Greek.
An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherd.
A European.
An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherd.
A blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy.
An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherd.
Charleston Hessler.
An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherd.
Now let's look at the Egyptians of that time, and let's look at the people who worked during that time. The people who worked during that time, right? This is who they had, were the Shemites, right? So when they said an Egyptian, so let's look at this. Look at the Shemites, and let's compare that to a Hamite. This was the Hamite guy. Now, these are how they look now. So it's safe to, let's zoom in on him. Him and him. Him and him, right? Or let me help you out here. I'll make it easy for you. Oh, man, we gotta solve with these Facebook posts. Right? If it works, it works. No, we don't want that. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. This is what you were looking at. An Egyptian helped us. Come on.
The Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherd. And moreover, he drew water for us and watered the flock. And he said unto his daughters, and where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread. And Moses was content to deal with the man. And he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter. And she bore a son, and he called his name Gershon. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass in the course of those days, of those many days, that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage. And they cried, and their cry came up to God by reason of the bondage. And God heard their groaning, and he remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God saw the children of Israel, and God took cognizance of them.
This is interesting. Shemot Elohim et al-Karatam Vayikor Elohim et Barasot et Abraham et Yitzchak wa et Yaakov. Vayira Elohim, and saw God et Bani Yisrael. This is that word again. This is that word again. Vayira Elohim et Bani Yisrael. What? Wayada Elohim, and he recognized or he knew them. Did God not know Israel?
He knew them.
He means he didn't care during that time.
No, it's already prophesied.
He already told him it's going to happen. You see how we know that Pharaoh knew of Joseph, but he didn't care about Joseph in that way? This is God saying the same thing that Pharaoh said. Now, when it comes to Israel, okay, yeah, it's time now. I'm going to acknowledge you now. It says, Vayira Elohim et bani Yisrael vayador Elohim. And God saw the children of Israel and took cognizance of them, meaning thought deeply on them. Not like, oh yeah, Israel. Oh yeah, it is not like God said, oh wait, I did make a promise. That's how they would have you read it. Oh man, I forgot. I promised Abraham to deliver these people. God watched this whole thing and said, okay, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. It's like double dutch. It's not time yet. Now it's time for me to act. Remember, while we're in Egypt, let's go over. We went over this last night. I want to revisit this thought because it's very important that we understand this thought on why we had to suffer in Egypt. We're going to go to a couple verses. So if you give me a second, I want to stack some verses for you. And this is going to help you a lot with your understanding moving forward. Now, the word we're dealing with is Yadah. We went over this last night, but I want to show you how God functions and how God operates. We don't need this. We might need that. Okay. We don't need this Hamite. You know what a Hamite looks like. I want to open them in Chrome Mamre. I want you to know what these people did too. Now, let's consider this right here. And I want to bring something else out to you too. We got bonus facts for you coming right now. So you can understand your full chronology. Let's go to this book right here. What does the book of Job have to do with this, Rob? I'm going to show you. Let me show you how to work the book. What does it say? Job 1.
There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And that man was wholehearted and upright.
Uz is Arabia.
And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters.
Okay.
His possessions also were 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she-asses and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the children of the east.
Now, he's the greatest of all the children of the east. How is this possible? Uz is somewhere down here, right? But Israel is also in the east. That's because when Job was written, Israel wasn't in Israel.
Oh, the Ammonites were still in that.
The Ammonites were still in the land at that time. When Job was written, where was Israel?
We were still in Egypt.
We were still stuck in Egypt. Job is friends with an Edomite. How could Job be friends with an Edomite if he was during the time of Abraham? People teach Job is during the time of Abraham. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Edom.
He had Amalekite as a friend.
Yeah, he had an Amalekite as a friend. That's Edom's son.
Like Amalekite, Moabite.
He had a bunch of weird people. So Israel was in Egypt during the time of Job doing his thing. Right? Now, let's come here. Let's get back on point. That was just a little fun fact. God saw the children of Israel and took cognizance of them. What did God promise Abraham? what was going to happen. This is Genesis 15:13.
And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with a great substance.
So that nation shall I judge, and afterwards they're going to come out with great substance, right? Now, we have that right there, right? What I want to do is, we're going to explain why we actually went down into Egypt. And it's not just because we had a disdain for Joseph. We went down into Egypt for another reason. God sometimes puts you in positions that you don't think is optimal for you in order to preserve you. Right? Matter of fact, before I get here, let's show you that Egypt was even though we were afflicted, it was a blessing. Let's come to Isaiah. And let's hear the words of God through the prophet Isaiah. We're going to go to the 56th verse, 56th chapter. No. Okay, Isaiah 57 says what? What does it say?
The righteous perisheth, and no man layeth at the heart, and godly men are taken away. None considereth that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come.
So nobody considers that the righteous are taking away from the evil that is to come. So what happened? We understand that Israel, as a people, as a nation, as a family, they weren't a nation, they were a family. The family of the Israelites ended up going into Egypt. When they went into Egypt, it was good and prosperous, and then it was bad. So they had good times, and then they had bad times when they were afflicted. Now, some would look at their affliction and they would say, okay, they're afflicted. They gotta have done something wrong. Everything has to be bad. Everything is falling apart. That's not necessarily true. Close that door, please. That's not necessarily true. What happened here? What did he tell Abraham? What did God tell Abraham?
Know for a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and it shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with a great substance. But thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. And in the fourth generation they shall come back hither, for the iniquity of the Amorite is not yet full. Now, we see that, we understand that no one considereth that a righteous man is taken away for the evil that's to come. Let's go. Let's come here. I want to show you why we weren't supposed to be in that land at that time and how God protected you. Genesis 24. What did he say? What did Abraham say here? And Abraham said unto his servant, the elder of his house, that rules over all that he had, pray, I put thee, thy head under my thigh, and I will make thee swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife for my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell.
So we could not marry a Canaanite because they would have influenced us negatively, right?
Yes.
That's just one marriage, right? Now let's read this one too. Come on.
And Isaac called Jacob, and blessed him, and charged him, and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
Okay. Now, they were going to be a snare to us, right? How do we know they were going to be a snare to us? I'm going to show you why. And this is why God kept us away from them. So sometimes in life, that tribulation period, that period where you going through things, that period where everything is falling apart, that period where you can't understand why you have to deal with what you deal with, that period is happening to you because God is refining you and tucking you away from the danger that is to come if you stay on the current path that you're on. And let's back this up right here. Deuteronomy 7, verse 1.
When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and shall cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashite, and the Amorite and the Canaanite, and the Perizzite and the Hivite and the Jebusite, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them up before thee, and thou shalt smite them, then thou shalt utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Never shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Verse 4, why?
For he will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and he will destroy thee quickly.
So the Canaanite will make your son turn against serving God, right?
Yes.
That's just from being around them. It said don't marry them or make a covenant with them. You're not even supposed to be around them. So let's go right here. Exodus 34. Oh, my eyes starting to go bad on me. Right. That's what I got you here for. 34. Let's go to verse 16.
And now take of their daughters unto thy sons. And their
15.
Okay. Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land.
Okay.
And they go astray after their gods.
So if you make any agreements with them, you're going to go astray after the Canaanite gods, right? Come on.
And they call thee, and thou eat of their sacrifice. And now take of their daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go astray after their gods.
And their daughters, what?
Go astray after their gods, and make thy sons go astray after their gods.
So the daughters would make the sons go astray, and the fathers would make the sons go astray. I mean, the daughters of Canaan, marrying them would make the people go away, and giving an Israelite to a Canaanite man will make your sons go astray.
Yeah.
So when we're in Egypt, now we have to look at Egypt differently now. We have Abraham telling us, don't be around the Canaanites. Jacob saying, don't be around the Canaanites. Moses telling us in Exodus and in Deuteronomy, don't be around the Canaanites. And then we have our father Abraham being told that I'm going to afflict your people. Your children are going to go through bad things, right? But what they go through is for their betterment because they're going to come out with great substance. He says, you're going to go to your fathers in peace and thou shalt be buried in a good old age. And it says, in the 4th generation, they shall come back hither for what?
For the iniquity of the Amorite is not yet full.
Now, if we were in Egypt and we were autonomous with power, would we have cried out to God?
No.
That cry out to God is what activated our deliverance. What does it say here? Please stop coming in and out of there. What does it say here?
And it came to pass in the course of many days, in the course of those many days, that the king of Egypt died. And the children of Israel sided by reason of the bondage. And they cried. And their cry came up unto God by reason of the bondage.
So their cry came up to God. So something that they did activated God's attention, right? And what happened?
And God heard their groaning. And God remembered his covenant with Abraham and with Isaac and with Jacob. And God saw the children of Israel and took confidence of them.
So now he's recognizing them. So he put them in Egypt. Now, while they're in Egypt, remember, he has a clock. The iniquity of the Amorites is not yet fulfilled. The iniquity of the Amorites is not yet fulfilled. And it's not the 4th generation yet. So it's something about Israel, when we get to the 4th generation, that we're going to be good enough to get brought back into the land. So that means the 1st generation might not have been better than the Amorites. The second generation might not have been better than the Amorites. The third generation might not have been better than the Amorites. But that fourth generation became better than the Amorites. And that's when we were allowed to take over the land. How do we back this up with scripture? Deuteronomy chapter 9. What does God say in the 5th verse? Was it our righteousness or was it that? Let's read what happened. Come on.
Not for thy righteousness or for the uprightness of thy heart, that thou going to possess their land.
So you have to understand, we never truly served God wholeheartedly. But God put us in detention called exile, captivity, the wilderness. With nothing to do, you couldn't sin so much. It's not that you got inherently better. It's that these guys got substantially worse than you. You were on pause. See, when you're being afflicted by the Egyptian, you don't have time for idolatry. You don't have time for the goofy stuff you would get into. You're afflicted. You're just trying to survive day to day. While you're afflicted, what's happening? The Amorites are going high. Because remember, how did we go into Egypt? Did we go into Egypt as a loving family?
No.
We went in there as 12 people who hated each other. He's going to take out wicked people and bring in people who hate each other? That doesn't make logical sense. So Egypt was the first major pause. He put you on hold in Egypt. Yes, you were afflicted, but while you were afflicted, guess what you weren't doing? You weren't sinning. You wasn't racking up iniquity. While you pause, the Amorites is just doing more and more and more and more and more evil. Then God says, okay, I'm going to take y'all out. He tell y'all to go spy out the land or check out the land. What do? You say, no, we can't do it. So now you worse than the Amorites. He put you on hold in the wilderness for 40 years. The Amorites get substantially worse than you. And now it's triggered where you can come back. Read this here.
Not for thy righteousness or for the uprightness of thy heart, that thou going to possess their land.
But for what?
But for the wickedness of these nations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee.
Now stop. But for the wickedness of these nations, does the God what? Drive them out before thee. Now let's read really quickly what they were doing. Leviticus 18. Come on.
And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall he not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall he not do. Neither shall he walk in their statutes. My ordinances shall ye do, and my statutes shall he keep, to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. Ye shall keep my statutes and my ordinances, which if a man do, he shall live by them. I am the Lord. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him, to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord.
Now, this is a law you couldn't do in captivity. Why? In the wilderness, why? I mean, this is a commandment you couldn't break in captivity. Why would this have been hard to execute and break this commandment in captivity? Do you know? I mean, in the wilderness. You know why?
Because we all lived in tents.
We all lived in tents. We all see what's going on. So you live in a closed-off community now. Now we're watching you. How you going to go be with your sister and be a pervert if your whole family is next to you in a tent? It's hard to do that, right?
Yeah.
So captivity stopped you. So the wilderness stopped you from doing this. What else? Come on.
The nakedness of thy father and the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness.
Now, could you execute this when everyone lives in a refugee camp in a tent?
No.
No, it's too many eyes. What else did the wilderness stop you from doing? Read.
The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness.
What else?
The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or the daughter of thy mother, whether born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover.
Verse 10.
The nakedness of thy son's daughter, or thy daughter's daughter, even their nakedness shalt thou not uncover.
These are things that's impossible to do living in a tent with everyone walking around, moving around. Come on, what else?
Nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter, begotten of thy father. She is thy sister. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness.
Come on.
Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister. She is thy father's nearest kinswoman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister. For she is thy mother's near kinswoman. And thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach to his wife, she is thine aunt. And thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law, she is thy son's wife. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife, it is thy brother's nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. Thou shalt not take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. They are near kinswoman. It is lewdness. And thou shalt not take a woman to her sister to be a rival to her, to uncover her nakedness, beside the other in her lifetime.
So one sister has to die before you marry the other one. Come on.
And thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is impure by her uncleanness. And
remember, what happened to women that got unclean?
they were separated.
They went outside the camp. So you couldn't do this law. I mean, you couldn't break this commandment. And it was hard to break this commandment in the wilderness, right?
Yep.
Because any woman who got unclean went where?
Out of the camp.
Outside of the camp. Come on.
And thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife to defile thyself with her. And thou shalt not give of thy seed to set them apart to Molech.
Could you give your kids to Molech in the wilderness?
No.
Everyone would have saw you do it, right?
Yeah.
Come on, what else?
Never shalt thou profane the name of the Lord thy God. I am the Lord.
Could you be cursing the name of God in the wilderness?
No.
What happened to the Egyptian boy that did it?
He was killed.
He was killed. It's hard to do these. It's hard to do this in the wilderness. The wilderness sat you down so you couldn't sin anymore. That's what you got to understand. When you go back into the wilderness, some of us will live in Israel. Some of you will go to the wilderness. I don't plan to be part of the group that's in the wilderness. I plan to be part of the people that already lives in Israel. Keep going.
Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination.
Can't do that in the wilderness. People going to see. Come on.
Thou shalt not lie with any beast to devour thyself therewith.
Can't be with old Rex, your dog, in the wilderness. Can't be with your cow in the wilderness. People going to see.
Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down there too.
Somebody going to catch you. Come on.
Defile not ye yourself in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out from before you. And the land was defiled. Therefore I did visit the iniquities thereof upon it, and the land vomited out her inhabitants.
This is why they were destroyed. And this is why now think about this. Jacob and Abraham told Isaac and Abraham told Jacob and Eliezer. They said, don't mix with the Canaanite people. Don't marry their daughters, because this is what they were into. Had Israel stayed in Canaan and the famine not driven them into Egypt, they would have never got away from the iniquity of the Amorites. Right? They would have been swallowed up by that evil. So you had to spend time in exile. You had to spend time in Egypt in bondage. That was better than the alternative. The alternative was living in Canaan, sinning, and never separating yourself from the people of the land. Therefore, God could never give you the land because you're just as evil as the people he's judging. Keep going. And what does he say about why he removed those people? Not
for thy righteousness or for the uprightness of thy heart is thou going to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations, the Lord thy God does drive them out from before thee.
So let's back that up again with some more compounding in scripture, showing them how to understand their history. Yet, wait. Not defile yourself by these things in the land and the land was defiled. Therefore, what?
Therefore, I did visit the iniquities thereof upon it, and the land vomited out her inhabitants.
So Israel went into that land as judges. God used Israel as a nation to judge the Canaanites that were in that land. Come on.
Ye therefore shall keep my statutes and my ordinances, and shall not do any of these abominations, neither the homeborn nor the stranger that sojourneth among you.
Okay.
For all these abominations have the men of the land done that were before you, and the land is defiled. That the land vomit not you out also when ye defile it, as the abomination of the nation that was before you. For whomsoever shall do any of these abominations, even the souls that do them shall be cut off from among their people.
So this is what God said we had to stay away from. And this is why it said, what? So let's explain this verse now in its full context now. And it came to pass
in the course of those many days that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage. And they cried, and their cry came up unto God by reason of the bondage. And God heard their groanings, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob.
Right.
And God saw the children of Israel, and God took cognizance of them.
So God, let's see if this is the exact same word. It might be a vowel point difference. Wayidah. Let me see that. It's Wayidah. Let's go here. So that's why it was important for us to go into Egypt. We went into Egypt to actually save us. So our trials and our tribulations and our affliction saved us from a life of misery had we not went through the hardship. You have to understand the hardship is part of the story too. The hardship is part of the story too. No, this is Yada. It's a different word. Yada. It's probably the same root, but Yida. What does it say?
The knowledge acquainted
It's
with.
Yada. It's not giving me Yida. It's a bad thing. Nah, it's still giving me Yada. They both share the same root, but Yada. Okay, this is it. Yada. What does it say?
To make known, inform, show.
Basic to perceive. It's basically the same word, man. The text of the verb is different, but it's the same word. Come on, chapter 3. What we got? This goes up to 6, right?
6 verse 1.
Okay, let's get through this.
Then Moses was keeping the flock of Jethro.
And where's Moses keeping the flocks of Jethro at?
The priest of Midian in Saudi Arabia.
In Saudi Arabia, let's go.
And he led the flock to the farthest end of the wilderness and came to the mountain of God unto Horeb. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold,
the angel of the Lord appeared unto him. Who's the angel of the Lord? Because I gotta take time to explain everything, because I got some guys that'll tell me it's Christ, man. That was Christ in the fire. JC, he was at the fire, man. He was there. Let's show you who the angel of the Lord was. Read this verse right here. You know this is a corruption. This part is a terrible translation because it doesn't say Ki Elohim. It says gods. But come on, let's go. Vayomahu Yedgid Yehoah, Ba'at Yashov, Yerushalayim, and they that dwell in Jerusalem. Wahayed Hadanachshor, Verhim Vayom Hahu, Ki Darwi. The ones that dwell in Jerusalem shall be like David. Right? Ki Darwi, like David. Ubayit Dawid, and the house, Bayit Dawid, in the house of David. What does it say?
Ki Elohim.
Ki in front of a word makes it what?
Like.
Like gods. And then it says, ki, what is this? Like malak, right?
Yeah.
The angel of who?
Yahweh.
Yahweh. So like the angel of the Lord, Lefnehim, before them. So this is not, I think it actually is a decent translation. It says, and in that day the Lord shall, Yahweh, in that day Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that stumbleth among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as a God-like being. This is good. I'm mixing this up with Psalms 82. A house of David shall be as a God-like being, like the what? The angel of the Lord before them. Now, let's find out who the angel of the Lord is. Daniel. To find out who the angel of the Lord before them is, we have to go to Daniel chapter 12. What does it say in Daniel chapter 12? Now, Daniel chapter 12 is speaking about, hold on, let's give full context. This is talking about Jerusalem, right?
Yes.
Read this. This is Zechariah chapter 12, verse 1.
The burden of the word of the Lord concerning Israel, the saying of the Lord, who stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundation of the earth and formed the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of staggering unto all the peoples round about and upon Judah, and shall it fall to be in the siege against Jerusalem.
And what's going to happen? And it shall come to pass, what?
In that day,
that I will make Jerusalem, what?
A stone of burden for all the people.
For what?
All the people.
For what?
All the peoples.
Okay.
All that burden themselves with it shall be sore wounded.
And what?
All the nations of the earth shall be gathered together against it.
Some of the nations.
All the nations of the earth shall be gathered together against it.
This say most of the nations.
All the nations of the earth.
This says part of the nations.
All the nations of the earth
shall be gathered against Jerusalem. So when all the nations of the earth at the final battle is gathered against Jerusalem, God said he is going to what? He is going to, in that day, Yahweh shall defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that stumbleth among them that day shall be as David. David was a mighty warrior. And the house of David shall be as a God-like being, like the angel of the Lord before them. Then when we go to Daniel chapter 12, I'm going to show that this is the exact same event from a different perspective. And what does Daniel chapter 12 say? At that time shall what? Shall who?
Michael.
Do what?
Stand up, the great prince who standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book.
So if Michael is the angel that standeth up for the people, and then Zechariah says David is going to be like, what verse is that? Like God-like beings, like the angel of the Lord before them. Who is the angel that stands up for them according to Daniel?
Michael.
So who is the angel of the Lord here?
Michael.
So when we come to Exodus, who is the angel of the Lord here? Is this Jesus Christ?
No.
Who is this?
Michael.
Michael appeared unto him in a flame of fire out the midst of the bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burnt with fire, and the bush was not consumed. Hallelujah. Come on.
And Moses said, I will turn aside now and see this great sight, why this bush is not burnt. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, For this place where I now stand is holy ground.
Hallelujah.
And he said, moreover, he said, I'm the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people that are in Egypt, and I have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their pains. And I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians.
Now, Mikael was originally there, but now we have the Father talking to Moses. Now, I'm going to show you something that you may not have known. Some of you may have if you studied with us. God does have a similitude. God does have a form. People who've taught you that has learned that from who?
Them people.
They have learned that from them people. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you. Can we prove that God actually has a body and get this Islamism out of our way?
Yes.
All right. We're not Muslims, okay? We believe only what this book says. Now, we're going to stack some more words, some more scriptures for you. We're going to stack some more scriptures for you. Now, what does this say?
And the Lord appeared unto him by
and Yahweh appeared unto him by what?
The tents of terebims of Mamre, as he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day.
Okay.
And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood over against him.
Anthropomorphic.
3 men stood over against him.
This is a metaphor.
3 men stood over against him.
So 3 men stood up. So God comes to Abraham. And when he looks up, 3 men are there.
Yes.
Now, if we can count, we should be able to track this. Can I get the calculator, please? We're going to see if we can count. I'm not a mathematician here, so I'm going to use a little help if y'all don't mind. So I have 3 men, right? So if I saw God, right, and I minus 2, that gives me 1 man, right?
Yeah.
So if I saw God, and then when I look up, it's 3 men, that means he came with 2 other people, right? 2 other angels, right?
Yes.
Now let's go. Come on.
And said, my Lord, if I have now found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let now a little water be fetched, and wash your feet.
So is Abraham retarded?
No.
He knows what feet look like, right?
Yes.
So God has feet.
Yes.
Is this anthropomorphic? Was he trying to metaphorically wash his feet?
No.
This is real, what's really happening, right?
Yeah.
Moses wrote this. Is Moses schizophrenic where he don't know what he's talking about?
No.
So Moses wrote that Abraham washed God's feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go.
And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and stay ye your heart, and after that ye shall pass on, for as much as he come to your servant. And they said, do so, as thou hast said.
They is 3 people talking, right?
Yeah.
This is not the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. We're going to prove that. Come on.
And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah, and said, make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes. And Abraham ran into the herd, and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto the servant, and hastened to dress it. And he took curd.
Now, if God don't want you to mix milk and cheese, why would he eat it? Where you learned you can't mix milk and cheese at?
The people.
Dumb people. I mean, milk and meat. Where you learned it from? Dumb peoples, man. Dumb peoples taught you that. You can have a cheeseburger. Come on.
And the calf which he dressed and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. And they said unto him, where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee when the season cometh round. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard in the tent door which was behind him. And now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it had ceased to be with Sarah the manner of woman. And Sarah laughed within herself.
Let's get to the point. There's too much going on. Okay, now let's read this verse right here. 16.
And the men arose from thence and looked up towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham that which I am doing?
So the men are looking towards Sodom, but God says, should I hide from Abraham what I'm doing? What happens?
See that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I have known him to the end that he may command his household and that he may command his children and his household after him, that he may keep the way of the Lord and to do righteousness and justice, to the end that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. And the Lord said, verily, the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and verily, their sin is exceeding grievous.
So let's look at this. Let's go here. What does it say?
And the men turned from thence and went towards Sodom, for Abraham stood yet before the Lord.
Now, wait, because I've been told God don't have a body. So 2 men go down towards Sodom, and Abraham stands before the Lord. So let's do basic math here. If there were 3 people and 2 goes to Sodom, who's left?
One person.
1 person. And who does this 1 person say it is according to the text?
But Abraham stood yet before the Lord.
Is this what it's saying in Hebrew? Okay. Wa Abraham Adenu Omed, which is to stand. That's my son's name. Amadiyah, right? I stand for Yah. So Omed, he stood, lefne, before who?
Yahweh.
Anthropomorphism.
Yahweh.
Anthropomorphic.
Yah.
It's not real.
Yah.
It's a metaphor.
Yah.
Rambam said this didn't really happen, so it didn't really happen.
Yah.
I listen to dumb people when they tell me this is not real.
Yah.
Yah was there. So he washed Yah's feet, right?
Yeah.
So that means Yah has real feet, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so who told us that Yah don't have a body? Does the Torah say that?
No.
Who taught us that? Dumb people. Who taught us that? Dumb people. Every goofy doctrine you get, everything you get that's made up, everything you get that don't align with this, where they want to sound smart and try to explain it, it always comes from who? There's only one culprit. Who is it? Dumb people. Because every time I read this book, I just see what's there. Left nay before the front, in front of Yahuwah, right? Now, let's go here. 12. What does this say?
And the Lord spoke suddenly.
Oh, wait. Oh, we got to prove that those was angels too. So he stood before the Lord. Okay, so he stood before the Lord, and the men went down to Sodom, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? So he goes back and forth with God, and he asks God about if it's 50 people, 10 people, if you could just find just 10 righteous people, could you save the place, right? And God says, yeah, if I find 10 righteous people, I won't destroy the place. Now let's happen. Now, the next chapter, the men transform into angels. Or were they always angels? They was always angels. What does the next chapter say? Now, the 2 men that left, what does it say?
And the 2 angels came to Sodom at even.
So who was God with when he came? Was he with the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit?
No.
Who was he with when he came to Abraham?
Angels.
He was with 2 angels. Clap it up for the Lord again, man. Clap it up for the Lord again. Clap it up for the Lord. It's the same story, man. 2 angels came down. Now, let's back that up some more. Let's go to Numbers chapter 12. Read this right here.
And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet.
Who said this?
The Most High.
Okay.
Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, do make myself known unto him in a vision. I do speak with him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so. He is trusted in all my house. With him do I speak mouth to mouth.
With him do I speak mouth to mouth. What?
Even manifestly.
And what? And not in dark speeches. And what?
In the similitude of the Lord doth he behold.
In the what?
In the similitude of the Lord doth he behold.
In the what?
In the similitude of the Lord doth he behold. Form, image, likeness, representation, semblance.
This is tenderism, man. This is Torahism right here, man. What does this word mean?
Form, image, likeness, representation, semblance.
So God has a form.
Yes.
God has a body.
Yes.
Who taught you? It says it in Hebrew. Hold on. This is Torahism right here, man. This word right here. Utmotna, right? He says the similitude of the Lord does he see. How Yah actually looks, he sees, right? Who taught you God don't got a body? Dumb people. It's getting ridiculous at this point, man. Why did God even write this stuff if we're going to believe what somebody else said that's not even Israelites? This is why only Levi is supposed to teach, man. We live it every day. This is why. It's all glory be to Yah. This is why the Kohens teach. This is why God didn't give it to Yissaschar, to Zebulon, to Naphtali, to Gad, to Asher, to Ephraim, to Manasseh, to nobody. He gave it to Levi. This is our portion because this is what we do. We take the word of God and just make it plain for you. I don't come in here. I don't give you a whole full Hebrew sermon. I don't throw in Hebrew words to flex my Hebrew knowledge and stand over you. I just give you exactly what it say. I scroll over. I take the word, copy, paste to show you what it reads. I know what it reads when I read it. I show it so you can see what it means. So getting back to this right here. I don't even know how we got to that point. Where were we at with this, man? Exodus chapter 3. Okay, so the angel of the Lord appeared first. So we have Michael here, right?
Yeah.
Then we have what?
And Moses said, I will turn aside now.
And when who saw?
And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, here am I. And he said, draw not thy hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
Okay.
Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God.
So wait. Hold on. Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look upon God, right? Why did Moses hide his face? Why did Moses hide his face? I got a theory. I don't know if this is the exact reason, but I wanna explore a concept for you. As always, only based off the Torah. No spitting and freestyling. Okay, let's go here. I want to take it to Exodus 33. Is this 33? Yeah, Exodus 33. I want to pick this up at 17.
And the Lord said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by my name, and I know thee by name. And he said, show me, I praise thee thy glory. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee. And I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy to whom I will show mercy. And he said, thou canst not see my face.
Wait. God tells Moses, what's the only thing you can't see?
Thou canst not see my face.
Why?
For man shall not see me and live.
He cannot see me and live. Okay, that's how they translate it. What does the next line say?
And the Lord said, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon the rock. And it shall come to pass when my glory passes by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and cover thee with my hand until I have passed by. And I will take away my hand, and thou shalt see my back, but my face shall not be seen.
No, they just said you can't. Now, here's the key. When dumb people translated this, it says, no man shall see me and live, right? That's what they put, right? Why at the bottom of the verse, God says, when I remove my hand, you can see me? Read it. What does it say?
And I will take away my hand, and I shall see my back, but my face shall not be seen.
So what should this say in context? No man shall see my face and live.
Yeah.
But what did they put? No man should see me and live. But what do Israelites stop at? Do Israelites ever read the last verse?
No.
Where do they stop at to prove their case?
20.
They stop at 20. What does the last verse prove?
That you can see the Most High, but you can't see his face.
You can't see his face. Clap it up for the Lord for understanding, man. Clap it up for the Lord for understanding. Come on, man. Clap it up. It's plain as day. If you can't see God and live, why would God just say in Numbers, here we go. What does God say? And the what? And the similitude of the Lord doth he behold. So how could it be you can't see him and live if God just says 2 chapters later, oh, Moses saw me and lived? It doesn't make sense. You know why things don't make sense? Because you're fighting against the truth. The English doesn't determine the Hebrew. The Hebrew determines the English. You just can't see God's face. You can see God. Let me give you one more. What happened? Read this. Read this right here.
In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting upon a throne.
You tell this guy he ain't really see it? So this is a lie. He saw him sitting on the throne. What happened?
And above him stood the seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. Was twain he covered his face, and was twain he covered his feet. It was twain he did fly. And one called unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is filled with his glory. And the posts of the door were moved at the smoke of the. And the posts of the door were moved at the voice of them that called, and the whole house was filled with smoke. Then I said, For all is me.
Okay. So here we go. Isaiah saw the Lord, right?
Yeah.
This is too easy, man. Read this right here.
I beheld till thrones were placed, and one that was Ancient of Days did sit. His raiment was as white snow.
Ancient of Days is who?
The Most High.
The Most High. His raiment was as white snow, and what?
And the hair of his head like pure wool. His throne was fiery flame.
Did it say he saw his face?
No.
What did he describe?
His hair and his
So wait. No, Abraham saw his feet.
Yeah.
Isaiah saw him sitting down. Moses saw his back and his similitude. And now I got Daniel saying, I saw the hair of God's head. And what this guy here on head, the hair on God's head was what?
Was as
white, like was
his raiment was
white as snow. The hair on his head was like what?
Pure wool.
Was like what?
Pure wool.
So he had nappy coarse hair, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how wool is. So God looks like a brother, right?
Yeah.
He got black people here.
Yeah.
Oh man, maybe this is why they say you don't know how God looked. And if we were made in the image of God, right? It's kind of like a cloudy afro, huh? Huh? It's afro texture, huh? Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see if pure wool look like this. Hold on. Is this pure wool? Let me see if this pure wool here. Is this pure woolly here?
No.
No. So now we got to come up with doctrines like God don't got a body, he don't got hair, he don't got this, he don't got that, but Abraham washed his feet, right? Because you can't be the chosen, original chosen, look like this, and then tell you look and made in the how God was made, right? Okay. Okay, we just had to make it plain. We just had to make it plain. Let's keep going. Let's get back to Exodus.
And moreover, he said, I am the Lord, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham.
So does God have a similitude?
Yes.
Does God have a quote unquote body?
Yes.
So if the angels were confused as men, let's go back here real quick. Let's take a step back. The angels were confused as men. And when we read the story, it said the angels, 2 men went down, and then the next verse it says the angels went down, right?
Yeah.
So let's come here. What does God say here?
And God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female, he created.
Wayemet Elohim ni asher Adam bezalem mod kid motenu, right? Now they get caught in this word. This word is like how you think. This word is like how you are. This is the exact same word. The root of this word is the root of that other word, which means image or likeness, right? Where's that one where I had image or likeness at? That word that was used in
You can want to quote it out.
I did? Okay, let me see if I can back it exactly. I might have. What does it say?
According to our image.
What does it say?
Identifies a likeness, form, pattern, model, or semblance. It speaks of both visible shape and conceptual correspondence.
It speaks towards what?
Visual shape. And
it speaks towards what?
Visual shape.
So when the angels were confused as men, it's because men look like angels, right?
Yes.
So man was made in that image, and the angels look like who?
The Most High.
So when man is made in the image of God, how do we look like?
Like the Most High.
Oh man, clap it up for the Lord again. Clap it up for the Lord again, man. Clap it up for the Lord again, man. We just barbecuing, man. You ain't supposed to cook on the Shabbat, man. You ain't supposed to cook on the Sabbath, man. Clap it up for the Lord. These ridiculous doctrines, man. Ridiculous doctrines that were started by Rambam in the 13th century, and Israelites been running with this for 2,000, for 100, for almost 1,000 years, man, of make-believe doctrine. When God is telling you what's going on in His word, in His own words. Let's read through this and get through this. Come on.
Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God.
We read that already. Hey.
And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a
Okay, I was looking for something. Go.
to a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. And now behold, The cry of the children of Israel was come unto me. Moreover, I have seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt.
Come on.
And Moses said unto God, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? He said, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be the token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve God upon this mountain. And Moses said unto God, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers hath sent me unto you. And they say unto me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? And Moses said unto him, and God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said,
Wayamer Elohim El Moshe Eye Asher Ahyeh. Wayamer Chor Torah Levne Yisrael Ahyeh. Slika Shelahaini Elachim. So God says you have a doctrine. He says Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya, but He says I will be. That's what I will be. When you translate it to future tense, is He exists or He is who He is. I believe when you put it into Yehovah or Yahweh, I don't know the exact pronunciation because they play with the vowel points. Someone who has a way better and stronger grasp of how that conjugation works will be able to explain that. But I'll just give you what I understood it to be. Come on.
Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am, have sent me unto you. And moreover, said to Moses, God said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel.
So we always get caught up on this, I am have sent me to you, right? Now you're not going to say I am, you're going to say He is. You're going to change it from Eyeh to Yahweh, right? And then it says what?
The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God
and
of
right here, He conjugated it for you. So it says, wait, where are we at?
We're in 15.
I am, right? I am is this word. Eyeh. Now it says, Wayamer od Elohim al Moshe Kotamir El Bani Yisrael. So this it says Tamar. This is future tense because the tav is in the front. You're going to say to them, El Bani to Bani Yisrael, to the children of Israel, Yahweh or Yahweh. Some say Yahweh. Yahweh Elohai, your God. Avotekim, of your fathers. Elohei, the God of Abraham. Well, Elohei, the God of Yitzchak, Isaac. Well, Elohei Yaakov, right? Shelahaini Elerikim, to you, to them. Ze Shemai Leolah. Wazet Zakri la door by door, from generation to generation. And that's my name from generation to generation. So you're not allowed to use it in this form because He said this form is what Shemai, Ze Shemai, my name, Leolam, forever, Wazeh Zakre, to remember, Lador by door, from generation to generation. So you have to conjugate it into this form. You cannot use Eyeh because He told you in the next line, Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahweh is how you say His name, and that is His name forever from generation to generation. Verse 16.
Go and gather the elders of Israel together, and say to them, the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, have appeared unto me, saying, I have surely remembered you, and have seen what is done to you in Egypt. And I have said, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt unto the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. And they shall hearken to thy voice, and thou shalt come, thou and the elders of Israel unto the king of Egypt, and ye shall say unto him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, hath met with us. And now let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. And I know that the king of Egypt will not give you leave to go, except by a mighty hand. And I will put forth my hand, and smite Egypt with all my wonders which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that he will let you go. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go empty. But every woman shall ask of her neighbor, and of her that sojourneth in her house, jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and raiment. And ye shall put them upon your sons and upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the Egyptians.
Chapter 4.
And Moses answered and said, But behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken to my voice. For they will say, the Lord hath not appeared unto thee.
They're going to say what you say today. Man, God ain't got nobody. He ain't come talking to you. Come on.
And the Lord said unto him, what is that in thine hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground. And it became a serpent. And Moses fled from before it. And the Lord said unto Moses, put forth thy hand and take it.
So he took a snake. He took a rod, put it on the ground. It turned into a snake. He said they don't care about that because Egyptians can do that too, remember? So he said, God, I need to show them more. Verse 4, what happened?
And the Lord said unto Moses, put forth thine hand and take it by the tail, and put forth his hand and lay hold of it. And it became a rod in his hand, that they may believe that the Lord, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, have appeared unto thee. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he came it out, and we took it out, behold, his hand was leprous, as white as snow. He said, put thy hand back into thy bosom. And he put his hand back into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, it was turned again as of her flesh.
So he took his hand, put it in his bosom, right? Now there are different type of leprosies, right? You have this variation of it, and then you have, because in the Torah, doesn't give you one distinct leprous trait. It gives you a couple different leprous traits. So this is what happened. He put his hand in, it became leprous, white as snow. That's not the skin-eating bacteria disease. That wouldn't be a miracle you want to show people. That's the other form of leprosy. In the Torah, I believe a minimum of 2 different forms of leprosy. And I'm going to show you that not all leprosy is skin-eating bacteria viruses. Let's go here first. Second Kings 5. Let's show you their different type of leprosies. You have the one that's an actual skin disease, where your skin is bacterially infected, and then you have one where you turn white. Let's show you the one where you turn white. 2 Kings chapter 5. Let's go to verse 20. This is the servant of, I believe, Elisha. He had healed Assyrian, or no, not an Assyrian. He healed someone's leprosy. Forgot what nation this guy is from. Naaman. Where's this gentleman from? Is he from Damascus? Okay, yeah. Are you not Amani at the far, the rivers of Damascus? Yes, I think he's from Damascus. Let's go through this really quick so you can understand the different type of leprosies. Let's go. Verse 9. This is 2 Kings We are in 2 Kings, chapter 5, and we are going to pick it up at the 9th verse. Let's go.
So Naaman came with his horses and with his chariots and stood at the door of the house of Elisha. And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying, Go and wash in the Jordan 7 times.
Because he had leprosy. Let's show where Naaman had leprosy at. Read this right here, verse 7.
And it came to pass, when the king of Israel had read the letter, that he rent his clothes and said, Am I God to kill and to make alive, that this man doth send unto me to recover a man of his leprosy? But consider, I pray you, and see how he seeketh an occasion against me. But not. And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying, Go and wash ye in the Jordan 7. Go and wash thee in the Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come back to thee, and thou shalt be clean. But Naaman was wroth and went away. It said, Behold, I thought he will surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God.
Okay, so he did it. Let's go to verse 13.
And the servants came near and spoke unto him and said, My father, if the prophet had bid thee something great, some great thing.
Okay, let's go.
And he returned to the man of God.
Wait. Let's go here. Then he what?
Then he went down. Then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in the Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God. And his flesh came back like unto the flesh
I
of a
wouldn't
little
believe
child.
that either. You know how the Jordan River look. It looks dirty and murky. It looks disgusting.
And he was clean. And he came to the man of God, he and all his company, and came and stood before him and said, Behold now, I know that there is no God in all the earth, but in Israel. Now therefore, I pray thee, take a present of thy servant.
So Elisha refused to take the present, and let's pick this up at verse 20.
But Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of God, said, Behold, my master hath spared this Naaman, the Armenian, and not receiving at his hands that which he brought. As the Lord liveth, I will surely run after him and take someone of him.
Okay, come on.
So Gehazi followed after Naaman, and when Naaman saw one running after him, he alighted from the chariot to meet him and said, Is all well? And he said, All is well. My servant hath sent after me, saying, Behold, even now there are come to me from the hill country of Ephraim 2 young men of the son of the prophets. Give them, I pray thee, a talent of silver and 2 changes of raiment. And Naaman said, Be content, take 2 talents. And he urged him, and about 2 talents of silver and 2 bags and 2 changes of raiment, and laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they bore them before him. And when he came back to the hill, he took them from their hand and deposited them in the house. And he let the men go, and they departed. But he went in and stood before his master. And Elisha said unto him, Whence comest thou, Gehazi? And he said, Thy servant went no hither. And he said unto him, Went not my heart with thee, when the man turned back from his chariot to meet thee? Is it a time to receive money and to receive garments and olives and vineyards and sheep and oxen and men servants and maid servants? The leprosy thereof of Naaman shall cleave unto thee, and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence as a leper, as white as snow.
And so wait. He told him what?
The leprosy thereof of Naaman shall cleave unto thee, and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper, as white as snow.
So the leprosy is going to go to him and be on his seed forever, right?
Yes.
So if the leprosy is going to be on him and his seed forever, are they all born with skin-eating bacteria diseases?
No.
What is it?
It is white.
They're just turning white, man. They just turn white. So when Moses, our teacher, went from this, right, to this, when his skin turned white, that's what God showed him. This is a different type of leprosy. Let me show you one more thing, because it's all about knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. 13. What happens?
And the Lord spoke unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh arising,
Or
a scab,
a scab, which is something that's a deep pitted infection, or a what?
bright spot.
A what?
And it become in the skin of his flesh the plague of leprosy.
So this is what it's classified as. It's not one thing. Any of these three things are leprosy. To understand what leprosy he's talking about, you have to look at the one which says what?
Or a bright spot.
A bright spot, meaning you turning white out of nowhere. You're getting your Michael Jackson on. And then it goes to give you three different diagnoses for three different things. Now let's read this clearly. If the priest shall look upon the plague in the skin of the flesh of the hairs, and if they be turned white and the appearance of the plague be deeper than the skin, the plague of leprosy, the priest shall look upon him and pronounce him unclean. And if the bright spot be white in the skin of the flesh and the appearance thereof be not deeper than the skin, meaning it's not a skin infection, just turning white, the hairs thereof be not turned white, the priest shall shut him up for 7 days. Shut him up, he have a plague 7 days. The priest shall look upon him on the seventh day, behold the plague state in its appearance, and the plague be not spread in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 more days. And if the priest shall look upon him again the seventh day, and behold, if the plague be dim, then the plague be not spread in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is a scab, meaning you just got a cut. It's not leprosy, because you can get cut to the white meat. But what happens when your skin heals up? What happened? It starts going back dark to the original color. But he's saying if the skin doesn't go back dark, this guy's a leper. He's turning white. You can burn yourself and that can happen to you. This is how you know these people weren't dumb people. Do you get it, boy?
Yes.
So look, this spot, once it starts to spread, this guy's a leper. But if it looks like, hold on. Now, what do they say? A swelling or, hold on. Let me see if I can find it where it turned white. Now, look at this hand. This is a burn. This is different from this. The priest has to be able to distinguish the difference. This is not leprosy. This is a scab or burn. This is something completely different. So come on. So when Moses put his hand in, it came out white. It's 2 different type of leprosies. It says 3, but let's get back into Exodus.
And it shall come to pass if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, then they will believe the voice of the latter sign.
Okay.
And it shall come to pass if they will not believe either two, and it shall come to pass if they will not believe even these 2 signs, never hearken unto thy voice, then thou shalt take of the water of the river, and pour it out upon the dry land. And the water which thou hast taken out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. And Moses said unto the Lord, O Lord, I am not a man of words, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, for I am a slow of speech and of a slow tongue.
Would Moses' Hebrew have been good?
No.
Why?
Because he was an Egyptian.
He was raised with Egyptian.
He was raised as an Egyptian.
And then he spent how long away from his people?
40 years.
Spent 40 years away from his people. So it's kind of challenging to say he's going to just be, he's not going to work like that. Come on.
And the Lord said unto him, Who hath made man's mouth? Who maketh a man dumb, or deaf, or seeing, or blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now therefore, and I will be with thy mouth. Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt speak. And he said,
I'm going to teach you wa'atat lech wa'anoki echyer in pechat wa'chochreteka arsherti darbe, what to say. Come on.
He said, O Lord, send, I praise you, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses.
Don't want to do that.
And he said, is there not Aaron thy brother?
Ain't your Aaron your brother? Because he said the anger of the Lord was kindled. So this didn't come out right. Is Aaron not your brother? I know he could talk. That's what God basically told him. You acting like you can't speak. I know he can speak. Now go and stop playing.
Is there not Aaron thy brother the Levite? I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. When he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart.
So Aaron, so what does this mean contextually?
Aaron was already on his way.
That means God spoke to who first?
Aaron.
He spoke to Aaron first to tell him to come if he's coming to meet Moses in Arabia, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
And thou shalt speak unto him, and put the words in his mouth. And I will be with thy mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do. And he shall be thy spokesman in the people, unto the people. And it shall come to pass that he shall beat to your mouth, and thou shalt beat to him in God's stead. And thou shalt take a knife in thy hand this rod, wherewith thou shalt do the signs. And Moses went and returned to Jethro his father-in-law, and said unto him, let me go, I praise thee. Return to my brethren that are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro said to Moses, go in peace. And the Lord said unto Moses in Midian, go return into Egypt, for all the men are dead that sought thy life.
So that means he's dead, he's dead, he's dead, and he's dead. Come on.
And the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest back into Egypt, see that thou...
What verse?
21. And the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest back into Egypt, see that thou do before Pharaoh all the wonders which I have put in thy hand. But I will harden his heart, and he will not let the people go. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, my firstborn. And I have said unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve.
Israel is my what?
Israel is my son, my firstborn.
Hold on. What does John say?
For God so loved the world. It's the beginning of the famous Bible verse.
Hold on. What does it say?
For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him, shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
What's problematic about that verse?
Israel is my son, my firstborn.
How could Christ be his only begotten son, but Israel is his firstborn son?
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense, because it doesn't make sense and it's not supposed to. And what does it say?
And I have said unto thee,
let what?
Let my son go, that he may serve me.
That he may serve me. Who is this he?
Israel.
For
Children of Israel.
The nation and the children of Israel is considered he, right?
Yes.
So someone who reads Isaiah 53 through Christian lenses, let's help them out. He was despised. Who is this he here?
The children of Israel.
Surely our diseases he did bear. Who is this here?
The children of Israel.
But he was wounded because of our tradition. Who is the he here?
The children of Israel.
He was crushed. Who is that?
The children of Israel.
He humbled himself and opened not his mouth. Who is that?
The children of Israel.
And it pleased the Lord to crush him. Who is that?
The children of Israel.
So if he will see his soul would offer itself in restitution, right? That he, who is this he here?
The children of Israel.
Might see His seed. Who is his here?
Children of Israel.
And their what?
And his seed.
And what is seed?
Their children.
So the children of Israel and their children. Yep. So this is, did Jesus have children?
No.
So it's not talking about him in Isaiah 53, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hallelujah. So when we come back here, when we see the he here, it speaks about the nation of Israel as one singular person called he, right?
Yes.
Tamshi.
And it came to pass on the way at the
If
large.
thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy firstborn son. Come on.
And it came to pass on the way at the lodging place that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a flint and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet.
This has always puzzled me. But if God wanted to destroy him, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but it seems as if Moses didn't want to circumcise the child, or he was averse to it for whatever reason it was. Because God wouldn't kill you for something he didn't tell you to do.
Yeah.
Right? Those boys had to be in the covenant and Moses didn't do it. So you saw what Zipporah had to do. She had to come take matters into her own hands. And what did she say?
Surely a bridegroom of blood art thou to me.
Now, this is Moses' personal business, right? So I don't know if he just ain't want to put his business out there. But it had to be something else going on. This is just crazy. She you made me a bloody bridegroom, Moses. Like, it's too much going on with not enough information. You go, but Moses of blessed memory, he got the right leave a little bit of his drama out the situation. Come on.
So he let him alone. Then she said, a bridegroom of blood in regard to the circumcision.
You bunny, you still tripping. Okay, you circumcised the kids. It's over with, man. Come on.
And the Lord said to Aaron, go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and met Moses in the mount of God and kissed him. And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord, wherewith he had sent him, and all the signs wherewith he had charged him. And Moses and Aaron went and gathered all the elders of the children of Israel. And Aaron spoke all the words which the Lord had spoken unto Moses, and did the signs in the sight of the people. And Aaron and the people believed, and when they had heard that the Lord had remembered the children of Israel, that he had seen their affliction, that they bowed their heads and worshipped.
Okay, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Last chapter. Let's go.
And afterwards, Moses and Aaron came and said unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness.
Come on.
Pharaoh said, who is the Lord, that I should hearken unto his voice to let Israel go? I know not the Lord. Moreover, I will not let Israel go. And they said, the God of the Hebrews hath met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, and sacrifice unto the Lord our God.
To Pharaoh has a pantheon of gods, and Yahweh or Yahweh is not in it. So he doesn't have any respect of God. This is before God demonstrated. I need you to understand, when you say the God of the Hebrews, that's one family. We weren't like widely renowned and world renowned and everyone knew us. You have a family that went into Egypt. We come from Akkadians and Samaritans. They didn't follow the creator. They did whatever they did and had whatever gods they had. So this is the God of the universe, but he's dealing with a small family of people that's turned into a great multitude. And now they're trying to establish their God in the world to be the God of the world. Come on.
Lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. And the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, cause the people to break loose from their work? Get you unto your burdens. And Pharaoh said, behold, the people of the land are many, and will he make them rest from their burdens?
Masa. So Masa is burden. So responsibilities or work. So now you can understand the context where it says carry no burden on the Shabbat, and the word is Masa. No. I'm going to look that up. Okay, come on.
In the same day, Pharaoh commanded the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick, as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. Come on, 8. And the tale of the bricks, which they did.
I try to aim her honest for her spot a team all the time. Like self-love. This is the word we use. Men self-love from. Men self-love. This is the word we use for birth. From their burdens. Okay. Gotcha. It's a different one. Let's go.
You shall no more give the people straw to make brick, as heretofore. And the tail of the bricks which they did make heretofore, you shall lay upon them. You shall not diminish up thereof, for they are idle.
So, when one is consumed with work, there is less time for God. When one has no work, there's more time for God. I literally had a supervisor set me up with folly, and they suspended me. I got it appealed and brought down, but I'm going to get it all the way knocked out because I got him lying in the investigation. And the guy that he lied was a customer that was Jewish, which is odd enough because I know the guy. And he told me the story did not happen the way the supervisor said it happened. So they basically are lying about everything. I'm going to get this guy fired. All glory be to Yah. But for the time that I am off of work until I can get this suspension reversed, it's just more time to put in work for the Most High. It says in the time of adversity, a man does what? He has the what? You have to consider it. This is more time for me to put in work for the Most High. They're not hurting me. He's going to lose his job. I'm going to sue my job. And I got more time to serve God. It's a win for everybody. Everybody wins, man. An enemy is destroyed of the Israelites. I get a free week off work. I'm going to get the money back. And I get to study more. So this is how you look at adversity. When you don't, oh God, what am I going to do? This is over for me. I have to pay 2 mortgages. I don't worry about that. My hope comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. Everything that happens is part of God's plan when you're moving in righteousness. If you're doing folly and evil, you got to creep over your shoulder. God, did you get me for doing that evil? When you're moving in righteousness, you could just say, okay, this is something that has to happen. Just like the Israelites being brought down into Egypt. It just had to happen. But they came out on top, right? Mm-hmm. So no different from me in my regular life. And I only bring up my personal experience as a testimonial to show you how to deal with it. I could be going through this to show you somebody who may not have a strong foundation in God or may not have a great track record of understanding. Not that God hasn't done it. You don't understand what God is doing. This could all be for edification of people that's watching right now that's going through the same thing. So I turn my trials into triumph, my tribulations into testimonials. And that's how I give glory to the King that we serve. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Come on, let's close this out.
Now have your work be laid upon them then, that they may labor therein.
Because they want to overwork you so you have no time for God. That formula has not changed. You know, you can make $150,000, $200,000, but you can go to, I go to, what's that store? Supermarket.
I don't know.
Not the Trader Joe's.
Oh.
You go to pick up some organic, non-GMO fruit. You leave with a basket of fruit, 7 pieces. It's $100. You're like, well, I thought I was making all this money. And meanwhile, $100 gets you 2 packs of strawberries, a pineapple, a pomegranate, and a papaya. You're like, wait, well, how does this work? What, we at the Garden of Eden? So they're making you do what they made our forefathers do. You're forced to make bricks with no straw. The food prices is going up. They said in America that if minimum wage went at the rate of the economy with houses, minimum wage should be like $60 an hour right now. Minimum wage is like $20 an hour. In New York City, for a rent, it costs $2,000 for an apartment, but the average person makes $30,000 to $40,000. So what are they trying to do? They want you to work 3-4 jobs. They want you overworked so you have less time for God because they're following Pharaoh's blueprint. Come on.
And the taskmaster of the people went out and their officers, and they spoke to the people, saying, Thus saith Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Go yourselves and get you straw where you can find it, for none of your work shall be diminished.
And so I'm not going to give you money, more money. You find ways. So in this analogy, take the straw to equal money and take the work to meaning bills. If they cut your money and keep your bills the same way, what are they telling you to do? I don't care how you live. You figure that out. But the more you actually have to put in work, the less time you have for God. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Come on.
So the people were gathered. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Egypt to gather struggle for straw. And the taskmasters were urgent, saying, Fulfill your work, your daily task.
So you got less money now in America. There's less money in America, but your bills are not diminishing. You're caused to make bricks with no straw. It's your job to figure out how to survive, but your bills are not going anywhere. They're doing the exact same thing because this is the second Egypt. Come on.
And the officers of the children of Israel, whom Pharaoh's taskmaster had set over them, were beaten, saying, Wherefore have ye not fulfilled your appointed task in making both brick and today as heretofore? Then the officers of the children of Israel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, Wherefore dealest thou thus with thy servants? There is no straw given unto thy servants. And they say to us, Make brick. And behold, thy servants are beaten, but the fault is in thine own people.
He says, your fault that we getting beat. Right? Because they always had our people. Malcolm X said this line, they'll pay one of us to kill one of us just so they could say it was one of us. So they put Hebrews over you to make sure that you do everything right. The same way you got that black supervisor who hunts you down and want to do all this evil to you. It's nothing new. It's all demons, man. The same devil, the same demon. Come on.
But he said, ye are idle, ye are idle.
Oh, you got too much free time. You lazy. See, Israelites been called lazy. In Egypt, when we want to build their pyramids for free, we was lazy. When we stopped wanting to build America, we became lazy. Okay.
Let us go and sacrifice to the Lord. Go therefore now and work, for there shall be no straw given you, and ye shall deliver the tale of the bricks. And the officers of the children of Israel did see that they were set on mischief, when they said, Ye shall not diminish aught from your bricks, your daily task.
So you want people to pay the same bills with less money. That's mischief. How do you raise the rent? How do you raise the food, but don't raise people money to equal up? It's mischievous. Come on.
And they had Moses and Aaron, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh. And they said unto them, The Lord look upon you and judge, because ye have made our favor to be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of his servants, to put a sword in their hand to slay us. And Moses returned unto the Lord and said, Lord, wherefore hast thou dealt ill with this people? And why is it that thou hast sent me? For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in thy name, he hath dealt ill with this people. Never hast thou delivered thy people at all.
So Moses said, why was I chosen for this if everything is getting worse? And this is the most beautiful ending to this parsha. Come on.
And the
Lord said unto Moses, Now shalt thou see what I shall do to Pharaoh, for by a strong hand shall he let them go, and by a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land. Hallelujah. All honor, all praise, oh Lord, and all the glory goes to Yah, the Most High God, the fountain of living waters, the maker, the owner, the creator, the possessor of all things and everything. We thank you, family, for joining us. It was the book of Exodus, chapter 1 through 6, Torah portion Shemot, as we have the Nile River behind us. We went over the date of the Exodus, the image of God, can you see God? and some Israelite history. This afternoon, we have Jeremiah 29. We're going to finish that at about, it's a good time.
3:30? When we used to start back.
I'll go 3:45.
Okay.
3:45. We'll be back with the book of Jeremiah chapter 29. And after the book of Jeremiah 29, which I believe is set in the year 593 BCE, we will begin at next Yom Shishi night, next Laila Shishi, which you call it Rev Shabbat or F Day evening. We will begin the book of Ezekiel. I'm really excited to get that started because the year will be 592 BCE. We'll open up the book in Ezekiel. So we will have Daniel, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel open up, and we'll be running and bouncing across all those books until we complete all of those books. You have a complete study. Please, family, if you want to stay up to date with the videos, Commandment Keepers YouTube page, we have a playlist of every prophet and of every chapter, and they're in chronological order. So you can stay up to date with all of your history of all of your prophets. We're taking the time to do that for you, the chosen people of God, because you should know on Yom Shani, we have the difference between rabbinics and ancient Israel, episode 4, who is an Israelite / who is a Jew. That's going to come out. And with the will of Yah, we'll begin another series. I don't know if I want to do the introduction to Israel or the book of Joshua, but that will be announced sometime this week. You'll see the video alert. We appreciate you for joining us. Thank you to the family. Sister Hannah, Bentley, I'm going to just put your stuff on. I put everybody up here so I can, because I can't see the names. I wear glasses. So I'll just shout everybody out like this. Praise Yah. We appreciate y'all for taking time out your Shabbat day. Princess Mavina. Give everybody a shout out. We thank you for joining us. And anybody else I missed, I'm sorry. But with that being said, this afternoon, 3:45, family, we love you, appreciate you. Thank you for joining us at Commandment Keepers, Ethiopian Hebrew Congregation, EHC2, 3:45. We will be back. All honor, all praise, and all the glory goes to Yah the Most High, the fountain of living waters, the maker, owner, creator, possessor of all things and everything. Zakar Yom HaShabbat La Kwadosh. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Peace and blessings, family. Shalom. We'll see you this afternoon for Jeremiah chapter 29. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Shalom, family.